Thank you, fellas. Perfect day for football here. Mid to high 20s. Wind is a little unpredictable out of the southwest. Near a full house at Ivor Wynn. 26,000 plus. Halftime, of course, we'll preview that big game between the Stampeders and the Eskimos at McMahon. Also, CFL Scrapbook with Don Whitman as we continue to celebrate the 50th season, the CFL on CBC. Labor Day Classic, we're ready with Mark Lee and Chris Walby. Guys.
And here's Paul Osbaldiston with the opening kickoff deep to the 10-yard line. Chuck Levy has it for the Argonauts. The Argos trying to find a crack for Levy, and he gets some daylight. Gets across the 35-yard line and finally hauled down by a host of tacklers. Looked like Clifton Ivory, the first man to make contact on that 25-yard return for Chuck Levy of the Argos. Here's Jimmy Kemp, who'll be calling his own plays as the #1 quarterback of this Argo team. And he has Michael Jenkins back in that backfield. This man is all-purpose, 5'6", 209 pounds. The receivers for the Argos, and of course the offensive line, which has been injury-free this year, a change from last year. Argos showing a 5-receiver set. They'll fake on play action. Wide open is Andrew English, and complete. He's driven out of bounds at about the 44-yard line, shy of the first down, but a good opening drive play.
And Mark, that's what it is. I mean, one of the things that Kemp gives, if we looked at the defensive lineups right now, Montford, Huff, Philbrick, and Hardin on the defensive end. The linebackers, Lamar, Schelling, and Woodson. And of course the secondary anchored by Rob Hitchcock, number 42 at the safety position.
Yes, the only returning member from last year's secondary. 2nd and 2, they give to Jenkins around the outside, breaks a tackle, and he'll have the first down across the 45 to about the 47-yard line.
And a nice job of Lamar, Jason Lamar, the middle linebacker, to track him down. But that's one of the things that Mitchell gives you. Not only is he powerful, but he's got great quickness to get to the outside, to stretch the defense. And one of the things they have to keep doing is pounding it, not only up the middle, but to the outside to stretch this Hamilton defense.
Pinball thinks Michael Jenkins is a younger version of Mike Pringle with more talent, more speed to the outside, more moves. First down, Argonauts with Jimmy Kemp in the shotgun formation. He'll hand off to Jenkins. Hard going, though, Joe Montford, and 3 more Cats put the claws on him for a short game.
Well, nice job of Sean Woodson. Strong side linebacker coming up to fill the hole right there. We talked about the fact that he ran to the outside, stretched the defense wide. They tried to come up. Simple off-tackle play. 17, Sean Woodson comes right in there, fills the hole. That's a great job of not only defensive linemen keeping the offensive lineman off the linebackers, but having the ability to get up there and stuff up the hole.
2nd and 6, Argos is the tight pad linebackers. Take a look at Kemp. English is in, Joseph out. Pressure now from Montford. He got Jimmy Kemp. Joe Montford, who came into the game tied with Alfred Payton, leading the CFL with 9 sacks, goes to double figures with 10.
Well, all they do is they put too many guys in the box. They bring up Jason Lamar, the middle linebacker, and so what they do is they let the guy farthest away from the play. In this case, it's quick Joe Montford, and you cannot let that guy go unblocked, because this will be the end result.
Montford, the defensive player for August, showing his speed on the outside. Punt situation for the Argos. Prefontaine drops the snap, and he's tackled. Montford and the Cats have the ball inside the 35, and they'll go on first down when we come back.
The CFL on CBC, brought to you by Dodge. Grab life by the horns. And by Bumper to Bumper, the auto parts professionals. The CFL on CBC, the road to the Grey Cup, brought to you by Dodge. Grab life by the horns.
Noel Prefontaine in only his 2nd game back from a tryout in the NFL with Baltimore, and look at this. Nurse
just simply mishandled the football. Hamilton had the rush on. You can see Clifford Ivory in there. They bring him right down, and the first big break goes to the Ticats.
And the sophomore pro Jeff Johnson in on the tackle on that play. And he's in the lineup now as the Cats go a 6-receiver set, empty backfield, showing pass. Dwayne Ford now back into the backfield. Back comes Johnson. Johnson now will get the call up the middle, breaks a tackle, then thrown to the turf for a short gain. Looked like Chris Neal made the tackle for the Argonauts. Danny McManus has not had the big completion figures this year. In the last 4 games, Chris, 2 of them he's been under 50%. His receivers, though, have let him down.
Well, Grant Morielli, Flutie, and Grigg have got to come up big today. That big offensive line, Coulter, Brown, Lambert, Dittman, and Hack, with Lambert being the rookie.
2nd down 9, Tiger Cats. Pass situation. McManus drops back, flags on the play as the officials blow it down. Bud Steen marshaling this one today.
Illegal procedure. Hamilton 65. 2nd down repeated.
So the Tiger Cats looking sluggish as Paul Lambert, the left guard, is called for procedure. A 1-yard gain on 1st down, procedure on 2nd.
Well, he obviously put the curse on the rookie by mentioning him, giving a little, publicity, and he goes and jumps outside.
2nd down now, 14 yards to go. Tiger Cats going into the wind at the very edge of Osbaldiston's range right now. McManus throwing down the sideline. It's complete to Corey Grant. Adrian Smith makes the tackle at the 10-yard line, and the Hamilton 1st down.
Just an excellent job by Corey Grant to come back to the football. Nice coverage by Adrian Smith, but as the ball is thrown, Corey Grant does the job of adjusting to the football, coming back. See how he turns his back, cradles the football in, and shields number 12, Adrian Smith, away from the ball.
Classic throw behind and a 27-yard gain for the Tiger Cats. 1st down and goal from the Toronto 10-yard line. McManus up behind his veteran center, Carl Coulter. Quick drop, shows pass, then hands off to young Jeff Johnson, who's hit for a loss by a swarming Argo defense.
Well, that's one of those plays when the Argos defense have got a lot of people in the box between the tackles. Chris Neal, number 18, is up there. What they're hoping is to break that initial line of scrimmage, and then Jeff Johnson is gone for a romp.
Roger Dunbrack of Western making the tackle and forcing Hamilton into a 2nd and 12 situation with the 2-yard loss. Jeff Johnson, who didn't start playing football till grade 12, getting the start again after that big game over 100 yards last week against Edmonton. McManus with his cadence juggled there. There are flags on the play. It looks like the Argos may have moved.
Definitely. Little fluctuation of the voice, changing up the cadence, never going on the same snap count, trying to draw the defenders offside.
Offside, Toronto 99.
Alfred Payton jumping the gun for the Argonauts.
And Mark, when you know you got a defense with their ears tied back, coming after the quarterback, that's a veteran quarterback right there, Danny McManus, changing the snap count, never letting the defense get comfortable.
While Payton licking his lips there in that 2nd and 12 situation, looking for a sack. He's now 1 behind Joe Montfort as they continue to battle for the league lead. 2nd down now. And about 7. McManus in the shotgun, back to pass. He's got time. It's blocked. Down it goes. Incomplete. As the Argos rise up here and stop this drive short. Chuck Levy, one of 4 players brought in from the Arena Football League by Rich Stubler in week 6.
Well, one of the things about Rich Stubler is he's always going to attack on defense. I mean, he's open, but look at Levy. He can't get to the football, but when he does the next best thing of getting his hands up in the air and batting that football. Here we see Darren Flutie. Now look what would have happened had the ball being thrown. He was wide open. He was signaling to Danny Mac, get me the pigskin.
Chip shot attempt from the 14 for Paul Osbaldiston on the left hash marks. It's up and good. And so the man who has outscored the entire Tiger Cat offense so far this year moves to 83 points in the opening points today. There's the Argo offensive brain trust. Mike Pinball Clemens telling me this week that he wants to run the ball more, and he is not on the same page offensively with John Jenkins, his coordinator, who he says feels a running play is a waste of down. Pinball has given the play calling responsibilities to his quarterback here today, Jimmy Kemp.
That's a tough call, though, Mark, because of the fact that Jenkins is on the sideline and he's always in Kemp's ear.
Chuck Levy, who had that knockdown, and another good run back to the 30-yard line. 20 yards for Levy, and decent field position for Jimmy Kemp and the Toronto Argonauts.
But I think the first series is indicative of what Toronto's trying to do, and the fact that they did run Mitchell twice, and they've got to keep doing that.
The pinball was telling me he thinks that, well, he knows that Jimmy Kemp is more on the same page with him. He likes to run the ball as well. Don't forget, Jenkins comes from that pass-happy University of Houston. He loves to go to a 6-receiver set. Pinball says we've had more success when we run the ball. Here's Kemp on first down, up behind his center, Chad Folk. Handoff up the gut. It's Darren Joseph, the fullback, and it's tough going across the 33-yard line.
Just a quick dive, quick hitter. Darren Joseph doesn't get to carry the ball a whole lot. Try and pop him through that line. Hamilton's got 5 guys on the line of scrimmage. There's they are right there. All they're trying to do is get a hat on a hat, a helmet on a helmet. You see Chad Folk. He's trying to get to Lamar. Now, if he gets to 36, Darren Josephs might go for a little bit.
Jason Lamar on the tackle. It's 2nd and long for the Argos. Pass situation. Kemp throwing to Ted Alford, but it's too far as he made the cut for the sideline and incomplete. Alford, who has the best hands in this Argo receiving corps, couldn't get there to put his mitts on that one as Kemp felt more pressure.
Well, pressure is coming from everywhere, not only from the linebacker shelling Lamar Woodson, but on that play they bring Dwayne Butler, the halfback, up on the line of scrimmage and blitz him. They're not going to allow Jimmy Kemp to find any kind of a comfort zone. What I'm going to do is come after him from the outside, inside, disrupt his game.
Here's Prefontaine, who fumbled his first long snap in his first punt attempt, standing back at the 20. He gets this one away with the wind, end over end. Mace Freeman has it at the 33. Flags are down as he's dropped immediately, and it appears as though the Argos will be called for no yards. A 42-yard punt for Noel Prefontaine.
Well, always a hard thing to judge the football when you're kicking either with the wind or against it, because sometimes the ball will be held up by the wind. And on that play, Adrian Smith, number 12, caught within the 5 yards.
Bud Steen sorting it out as the Cats get ready to go on offense.
You know, Mark, and I like what Hamilton's been doing in their first series.
Holding. Toronto has declined. No yards. Toronto 43. First down, Hamilton.
So that'll improve the Ticat field position, moving it out to the 48-yard line, and it's Chuck Levy who got called for the no yards on that play.
Not that I would ever correct the referee, but I will. I'm pretty sure that was Adrian Smith, number 12, the first man downfield.
Jeff Johnson, who's met with some heavy resistance early in this football game, trying to fill the big shoes of Ronald Williams, who was released after he continued his finger-pointing behavior with Ron Lancaster. McManus back to pass across the middle. It's complete to Darren Flutie, very close to a Hamilton first down. Flutie had his best game of the season in week 3 against the Argos at the Sky Dome with 8 catches.
Well, these guys know each other so well. They just throw to a spot. Look at him. He's just going to come off the line, and he's just going to check inside, find a little hole, come back, sit down in the zone, get the football, make a nice grab, put him in a great situation of moving the chains.
Well, Doug's little brother has now passed Ray Elgard, 3rd all-time in career catches, and of course, he's gone past Donald Narcisse in catching yards. Here's Johnson again, the Argos waiting for him with open arms.
Well, so far, Danny's been running the 6-pack offense, and then he comes back to the 2-back system with Ford and Johnson. Ford, Dwayne, number 37, just being the lead blocker, trying to spring Jeff Johnson through the opening.
Both teams trying to establish the run here this afternoon.
See him right there, going right by the block, but a nice job of Michael O'Shea of standing up Dwayne Ford at the point of attack.
Archie Amerson now into the football game for the first time on offense for the Tiger Cats. Spread. Nobody in the backfield. 6 receivers downfield for McManus across the middle. Oh, it was intended for Darren Flutie, and tremendous defense by Chris Neal as he laid out to knock that one down.
Well, we've heard nothing but glowing reports about Chris Neal, the linebacker. His speed. I mean, this is a guy that covers a lot of football field, does a nice job of hanging on, as you say, a six-pack offense of going across the field and staying in Flutie's back pocket, reaching out and knocking that football down.
Chris Neal, the rookie out of Alabama, Birmingham, one of 4 players to play at that weak side position for the Argos this year. Chuck Levy is the only man back, awaiting Paul Osbaldiston's punt. Into the wind. Osbaldiston at his own 45. Low, driving it for the sidelines. Levy on the run at his 17. Heavy pursuit. Goes back across the 15. Tries to get outside. Looks for a block and is pulled down. Kyle Walters, alone, one-on-one with Chuck Levy, makes the tackle for the Tiger Cats. A 33-yard punt and a 9-yard return as the Argos get set to go on offense. Welcome back to what they call the jungle here at Ivor Wynne. The Tiger Cats leading the Argonauts 3-0 in part 1 of our Labor Day doubleheader. Coming up, we go to the Battle of Alberta, the battle for second place at McMahon Stadium. It's the Eskimos and the Calgary Stampeders at 4 Eastern. Argos struggling on offense. Over the ball again here on their 3rd series of this football game. 1 fumbled punt, 1 punt so far to show for it. Kemp back to pass. He's got time, lots of time. Across the middle for Daryl Mitchell. He's got it at center field. Breaks another tackle and finally hauled down by Rob Hitchcock at the Hamilton 50-yard line. Daryl Mitchell, who has been banged up with a stinger, a bad shoulder the last 2 weeks, finally healthy here in Hamilton.
Absolutely, Mark. A couple of real quiet weeks, according to Mitchell-type standards, but he gets open in the zone right there. Nice job of protection by the offensive line and keeping the back end to keep Monfort out of the backfield in that play, allowing Kemp the time to find Mitchell.
Argos leading receiver with a big 34-yard pickup. First down, Toronto. Kemp now, play action, goes to the pitch, and it's Michael Jenkins cutting back in. Looked like he had nothing, Chris, but he made 5 yards on that one.
Oh, very lucky, because what they're trying to do, Dwayne Morgan, the wide side or left offensive tackle, is going to try and hook Joe Monfort to keep him inside. Monfort will have none of it, swims him to the inside, but Jenkins with his quickness.
Offside. Toronto 17. First down repeated.
Gets to the outside, but all for naught.
Alfonso Browning called for offside, coming in for Andrew English at the slot back position, the former Montreal Alouette, who leads the Argos with 4 touchdown receptions in this football game. There's the monster, Joe Monfort, already 1 sack, 1 scalp so far in this football game with Jimmy Kemp. First down repeated, 15 yards to go now for Kemp. Time, throws, what a great catch! Ted Alford with sticky fingers on that one and a 10-yard pickup.
What great athletic ability to come back and go across the body and reach out and snag that football. And Jimmy Kemp said yesterday, the story of this offense, the positive thing about this offense is that very man, Ted Alford, and the circus-like catches that he's made this year. I mean, this is unbelievable.
Alford out of Langston University was the BC Rookie of the Year back in 1996. Went to Hamilton and Winnipeg in 97. He's been out of this league for 3 years playing arena ball. There's the handoff up the middle. Michael Jenkins finding tough going again as the Ticats swarm him right at the line of scrimmage. Oh, they smelled that one, Chris.
I'll tell you what, you line up enough black shirts on the line of scrimmage, and if you don't break that initial line of scrimmage, it's going to be a long day, as Michael Jenkins is finding out right now, because if the first defender doesn't get you, that swarm of black will. And boy, they come after him. Look at that. There's 5 guys coming from as far back as the far defensive tackle to swarm all over Michael Jenkins.
And at the halfback position, as Terry Billups came in to fill, the gain is only 1. It'll be 3rd and 4. And Dan Gincola is coming into the game, will put his tee at the 51-yard line. He has the wind at his back. He's playing with a very swollen left knee on his plant leg. He has a lot of fluid on that knee. He said it broke this morning and it's got his kneecap moving around. From 51, Giancola hits the ball hard. It's good. Dan Giancola, who lives just up The QEW in St. Catharines has 250 family, friends, and former teammates from that.
Well, I tell you what, we talked to him
league
earlier about that, and he showed us the swelling on the knee and all the fluid in the knee. And I'm telling you what, right now, if he keeps kicking 51-yarders, I can tell you right now, before every game, he's going to start hitting that knee with a hammer.
I'll tell you what, I don't know about that. He missed one inside the 30 last week against Saskatchewan, and he told Pinball this week, I'll never do that again. He's been working hard in practice, and as I mentioned, he's got a huge cheering section here in Hamilton. 250 family and friends for the former grocery store clerk from St. Catharines. First down, Tiger Cats. McManus to pass, flag on the play, across the middle, complete to Jeff Johnson. Johnson breaks a tackle in first down territory, but there is a flag. 11-yard gain, and you can hear some of the curses now coming from that O-line of the Cats.
Well, nice job of just using the release valve.
Offside. Toronto number 50. Penalties decline.
Oh, Mike O'Shea, the former Tiger Cat, and a cheer goes up here.
Well, they're just trying to anticipate the snap count. We talked earlier, Danny Mack is not going on the same snap count. He'll go first down, he'll go 1, 2, he'll even hold them off on a 3 count, trying to catch the defenders, and he's done it successfully twice now.
Mike O'Shea, 30 years of age, and in this game playing on all 3 special teams. He says that's where I can show some leadership. The ageless linebacker. Empty backfield, 6 receivers set for the Cats. Hitch pass, Darren Flutie breaks 1 tackle, then he's shoestring. Looks like Chris Neal got him by the toe.
Well, this is what a veteran quarterback will do to a blitzing defense. Toronto's going to line up 6 guys inside the box. They know that they can't be blocked. 1 guy's going to come free. As a result, number 82, Darren Flutie, is going to be wide open. McManus sees this, dumps the ball off quick. It's just a quick throw, picks up some nice yardage.
5-yard gain, 2nd and 5. Amerson now into the game for the Cats. Shotgun, McManus. Time across the middle again. It's low, but it's complete. Mike Morielli, looking like the old Morielli, going down to make the catch there. And Chris, he's been under a lot of pressure. He didn't start 2 weeks ago. In the last 3 weeks, he's had 2 catches, 1 catch, and just 3 catches.
And I tell you what, this play doesn't get off unless that offensive line does a great job of blocking. Look at that throwing lane for Danny McManus. They're blitzing again. They pick up, they allow him to get the time to complete the ball, and a nice shoestring grab by Mike Morielli.
You gotta love the hands of Morielli going down to save that one. A foot off the turf. The gain is 11. First down, Tiger Cats in Argo territory. McManus hands off to Amerson. Wow! Breaks another tackle and another first down for the Tiger Cats. Amerson, who of course left as a free agent, didn't fit into the John Jenkins offense in Toronto.
Well, in honesty, we talked to Jenkins before the game, and he said he didn't beat the guy out. He got beat out for the position. But I tell you, one of the things that he brings to this offense is he knows the playbook. Didn't take him long to get back in the action.
4 days of practice, and his first carry is 12 yards, and there's an injured Argo. Looks like Chris Neal, the strong side linebacker, can't get off the turf for Toronto.
And he just coming back today after missing 4 games with a leg injury, and we hope that's not too serious because they're very excited about what Chris Neal brings to that defense.
The rookie import looks like he's in pain. Donovan Carter, the Canadian out of Northern Illinois, is his backup. And it looks like Neal is in extreme discomfort, Chris. And it looks like it might be a knee.
Oh, you hate to see that in anybody like that.
There's Amerson, who had that big carry. Yeah, just 4 days of practice here in Hamilton. He wanted to come back earlier because he had no place to go.
Well, you're right. He wasn't fitting
into Toronto. There was no room here. There was no room here.
He came early. He talked to Coach Lancaster. He said, hey, can I come back? I'd love to come back. I made a mistake. I should have stayed here in the first place. They said, we can't fit you in, but, you know, through good fortune, a little bit of luck, he got put on the practice roster, and here comes Hamilton. They pick him up, and look what he does. He gives him a great results and a first down, and bam.
Well, that's a good sign. Chris Neal up and walking under his own steam off the field for the Argos. There's Rich Stubler, who joined this team in week 6 out of the Arena League in Detroit, and he's retooled this defense. McManus back to pass, again time across the middle. It's complete again to Mike Morielli as Mike O'Shea makes the tackle, but O'Shea was a step late there.
Well, just a nice job of reading the zone, finding the opening, and sitting down, facing the quarterback. And Danny Mac, as he always does, he'll find you quick. There's been a lot of talk, we can't sack him because he gets rid of the ball. That's just how fast he is, because he reads defenses so quickly.
That's 2 catches for Morreale, 6 of 8 for McManus. He mentioned his receivers have been letting him down this year. They're sharp today. Play action bootleg. Naked bootleg. McManus will put it down and run across the 20, and then he wisely steps out of bounds.
Last year, do you remember this game? Labor Day, he took off on a bootleg, got hit out of bounds, blew a hamstring, missed. You know he wasn't going to try and take on the defender on this one. Hey, I see that first down marker. I'm going to safety, baby. There's probably a lazy boy chair for him to sit down on the sideline.
McManus with an 11-yard gain on that naked bootleg. And another first down. The Cats are moving the ball now into the red zone where they've had problems. I mentioned off the top that Osbaldiston has outscored the entire offense so far this year.
But so far, Mark, this offense has looked very sharp.
Amerson, the lone back. Now he motions out. McManus will throw again. Across the goal line, it was tipped. Looked like Tyler Grovestein got his hands on it. And there was an open receiver in the end zone for Hamilton.
Nice job by Grovestein, reading it, coming across the middle, reading McManus, making the play, and almost coming up with an interception.
Joe Montford with 1 sack so far. It's a close football game in Hamilton.
The CFL on CBC, the road to the Grey Cup. Brought to you by Dodge. Grab life by the horns.
The Labor Day grudge match all tied at 3 after 1 quarter of football here at Ivor Wynne Stadium. Let's go down to the sidelines here, Scott.
Thanks very much, Mark. Only 1 injury to report in the first half, that being to Chris Neal of the Toronto Argonauts went down. Jerry Townend, the athletic therapist of the Argonauts, tells me that it's the left knee that's been banged by Chris Neal. Not bad, so he'll be back in the football game presently. Guys?
Great news for that Argo defense as we take a look at the first quarter stats, Chris, and the net yards telling the story here so far offensively.
Well, absolutely, but Toronto and their defense have tried to run the football. They only got 2 first downs to show it right now. Hamilton right now at the later end of that first quarter, boy, I tell you, they started to move the football. Danny Mac started to look sharp, drawing the Toronto defense offside, mixing it up with his sets, going open spread, 2-back system, giving all kind of trouble to the Toronto defense.
Mike O'Shea trying to anchor this Argo defense in tough here inside the 20. McManus, lots of time into the end zone. Archie Amerson, touchdown, Tiger Cats! They're standing at Ivor Wynne. Welcome back, Archie.
Well, they're loving Archie here on this play. And what a play is. If you're going to blitz, that puts your defenders on one-on-one coverage. And all Archie did was going against Orlando Steinhauer, make a little out move, bring it back into the middle, got a couple steps on him, ball on the money, and a touchdown for the Tiger Cats. McManus to Archie Amerson.
The point after good. Amerson gets the high 5 from Ron Lancaster. He brought him back because he said this team needed a big play buster, and there's one right there.
I think it's going to be humorous because what people don't realize is that Archie Amerson and Steinhauer, the man he just beat, are roommates.
Yeah, I wonder what they said over breakfast this morning. Amerson with the touchdown, and that's what's been missing in this Hamilton attack. They've been getting inside the 20 and coming up with nothing but field goals. Finally, McManus hits for his 7th passing touchdown of the season.
Well, that's what a guy like Amerson will give you. He stretches that defense. He opens up the field. We said earlier in the pregame that the recipients of having Amerson back would be guys like Morreale, guys like Grigg, guys like Flutie, and we're seeing it orchestrated right now.
Amerson, who likes to chirp, and there's his roommate Orlando Steinhauer, the former Tiger Cat, who's taken consolation and hiding in the dugout right now.
Well, that's not a cage, even though if he gets a couple more of those, it may be a cage. Just one-on-one, as we said, and he just got simply beat. Amerson with a nice out, an in move. Got a little separation and nice catch.
And helping to sustain that drive earlier on with that nice 12-yard run up the gut. So Amerson on the ground and through the air, helping to cap that 8-play, 75-yard drive for Hamilton's first touchdown of this
and how
game.
happy is this guy? I mean, not playing football, not having a chance to play, coming back home, as it were, and starting to make things happen.
Osbaldiston's kickoff is deep with the wind. Chuck Levy at his own 7 drops the ball, gets it on the first bounce. Levy makes one move, hit hard at the 20-yard line. A 12-yard return by Chuck Levy as Amerson continues to savor and enjoy the excitement here on Labor Day.
Well, it all starts, I mean, this guy just knows. Jeff Johnson, little dump pass over the middle. He's going to mix. He's going to go to the sideline now. They're going to blitz again. Let's dump it off to Flutie this time to the wide side. Sits back, great protection. Nice shoestring catch by Morreale.
On the ground for 12 up the middle. Amerson with another first down. McManus with the bootleg. He's pulled out all the stops on this drive. Talk about variety in play calling.
And then, of course, we put him out wide. He lines up, goes a little inside, little backside, little separation on Steinhauer.
Touchdown.
The end result, a touchdown.
Danny Mack, of course, never shows much emotion whether he throws a pick.
Oh, this is the same face he had at his wedding. Pass. I mean, it was just, oh, well, I mean, I'm getting married.
So, while Danny Mack cools off, the heat goes back on Jimmy Kemp as he tries to get this Argo offense going. They've tried to run the ball. It's been stuffed.
Well, I told you, and this is one of the interesting things. We talked to Coach Jenkins, the offensive coordinator, before the game, and he said, we're going to try the run, and if it's successful, we'll stay with it. And that, I read that as saying, if we get stuffed early, they're going to fall right into Hamilton's game plan. They're going to start throwing the football all the time.
Injured Tiger Cat on the play. It's number 17, Sean Woodson. It looks like it might be a cramp. It's awfully hot here, about 27 degrees at Ivor Wynn, even hotter on that artificial turf. Let's get back to that Argo offense. We did talk about the struggle going on between Pinball and offensive coordinator John Jenkins. Jenkins likes to throw the ball. Pinball wants to establish the run. He wants 20 runs here today, but if the run game starts to dry up, will he start to get more command and want to throw the ball?
Well, you have to run the football. If you're just going to throw the ball, all your linebackers are going to do is get depth. That makes the throwing lanes almost impossible to hit. You've got to kind of keep those linebackers up tight to the defensive line.
And right now, Kemp calling his own plays will have to make up his mind. He'll get a ready list. He'll get suggestions from the bench. But he's calling the signals for the first time this season. In the shotgun, he'll pass on first down. Kemp throwing to the sideline. Open is Alford, but it's over his head. And close coverage on the play by Terry Billups.
Well, that's a nice job of coverage, as you say. Step for step, nice throw. Jimmy Kemp putting the football where only the receiver can get it. Look at this. This ball, even though it's not caught, folks, is only where Ted Alford could catch it. Nice throw, nice attempt, nice way to stretch the defense.
And Dedrick Mathis was stride for stride on that play, but it looked like Alford couldn't find the ball. It wasn't over his shoulder. So it's a desperate situation. 2nd and 10 at the 21. Kemp forced to pass. Here comes the rush. He gets hit, but gets it away. It's incomplete. Intended for Daryl Mitchell.
Adrius Haroun, the rookie defensive end on the other side of Montfort. A nice job of beating the offensive lineman, coming around the corner and putting a hit on Jimmy Kemp. Jimmy Kemp can feel it. You can see he just works around. Dwayne Morgan gets in there just as he releases the football, but good pressure. Kemp feels the footsteps, throws the football. Mitchell in the middle of a swarm of tight cats decides not even to try to catch the football.
And you know, Ron Lancaster will take that hurry, that pressure any day over a sack, because he says it has more possibilities of provoking a missed pass, an interception, a fumble.
And this is one of the bad things about throwing the ball every down. It's 2 and out really quickly.
Now Prefontaine, who has already dropped, fumbled one long snap, stands at his own 6. It's low, but he's got it, and he shanks the football. It bounces at the 48. Akins has it for Hamilton, and he's driven down immediately for little gain. But the Tiger Cats will have tremendous field position and the wind at their back when we come back to Hamilton. Welcome back to Hamilton as John Jenkins continues to huddle on the Argo sideline with Jimmy Kemp, and Kerwin Bell continues to wait in the wings. as we look at the play selection here, both teams trying to balance their offense with run and pass.
Well, absolutely, and we know that Jimmy Kemp is a starter, but there's an old cliche saying, if you ain't playing, you ain't staying.
Stanley Jackson continues to stay warm. He's the third-string quarterback. First down, Tiger Cats at the Argo 45. Pitch out to Archie Amerson. Tries to get outside, breaks one tackle, and he'll have a gain of close to 5 yards on that play, going to the short side of the field. Mike O'Shea making the tackle for Toronto.
And just a nice job of Archie Amerson getting to the outside. Again, Toronto, reminiscent of Rich Stubler's defensive strategy of putting 7 or 6 guys in the box between the 2 offensive tackles. Archie does a great job of getting to the outside, making a couple people miss, and picking up good first down yardage.
Second down and a little more than 5. McManus has been good on 5 of his last 6 passes. In the shotgun here, and he will pass. Pressure across the middle, and he threw that one, it looked like, off the shoulder pads of Alfred Payton, who puts his hand up to take credit for that play.
Well, just all-out blitz again. They're lining up in this set almost every time and bringing 1 or 2 or all of the linebackers. You can see right there, that's Chris Neal, the outside linebacker. He just come and he says, you know what, I'm not going to let you sit back there, Danny, and have your way with us. We got to start putting some pressure on you.
And he's holding his knee. He was down last series with that knee injury. Osbaldiston now will attempt this field goal on third down for Hamilton from the 48-yard line. He has been good from 14, but he has a big wind, a swirling wind. Normally in this direction, he aims to the right of the goalpost. It's up and good. Paul Osbaldiston, who has hit for nearly 80% so far this season, puts another one through the uprights as the leading scorer on this Ticat football team.
Well, what they're doing so effectively is they're moving the ball, and even when they get stopped, they're relying on number 3, Paul Osbaldiston's foot, to put points on the board and slowly accumulating more and more points and putting more distance between the Tiger Cats and the Argonauts.
13-3, Hamilton leading with 11:55 to go until halftime, and Ron Lancaster, who is joined by his son R.D., the offensive coordinator, the man calling the plays, or at least suggesting the plays to Danny Mack from the booth here at Ivor Wynn. The two of them have been a tremendous combination as R.D. continues to learn under the wing of his father, Ron. Argos at the 35. Kemp bobbles the shotgun. He'll pass. It's nearly picked off. Out of bounds goes Billups, getting one hand on the pass intended for Andrew English. It's incomplete.
Well, to Kemp's credit, I mean, he's not going to sit back here in the pocket. Hamilton's been getting pressure on him, so they're going to run a little bootleg. Fake the handoff, get to the outside. All he's going to do is just pop it, come on outside. He unfortunately bobbles the football and tries to force a throw. If there is a knock on Jimmy Kemp, it is that very fact that he'll try and force a situation.
Kemp completing 3 of 7 attempts so far for 52 yards and forced into another second and long situation. Ticats, here comes the blitz. Montfort from the outside gets the block. Kemp will put the ball down and run. Oh, he's hit hard by Rob Hitchcock, short of the first down.
As you say, when you throw the football every time, you allow the defense to start playing games. You allow the defense to start bringing guys up, as we see Andrew English on the floor. You can't block them all. You can see, look at, there's one guy, there's Montfort at the top of your screen coming free. Jimmy Kemp does all he can do. He pulls the ball down, tries to get whatever he can running the football. But we talked about the aggressiveness of the secondary of the Ticats. Shelling there, Rob Hitchcock.
Good chip block from Jenkins on Montfort. He almost had his hands on Kemp. And Jenkins making a good block there to keep Montfort off his quarterback.
Well, just to shift him off.
But Andrew English looked like he had an inadvertent slew foot on that play. As he went down, his leg got kicked out from behind as Kemp was being tackled.
Well, what I'd like to see in a little bit more of this Toronto offense is when your quarterback does pick up the ball and run. We saw Jenkins with the good block, but get some of the receivers downfield. Start blocking some people. Let's get a little angry out here, folks.
Find out how Andrew English is when we come back. A A fine Labor Day here in the Steel City. At Ivor Wynne, the home team up 13-3 over the Toronto Argonauts. This defense has feasted on the Argos. They've been 2 and out in 3 of 5 offensive possessions. Punt situation for the Argonauts. Prefontaine. High snap. He's got it. Just gets it away. Deep, though, into the wind, forcing Mace Freeman way back. They underestimated the leg of Prefontaine. Freeman, tripped up by Darren Joseph. Tremendous field position swing there on behalf of the Argos on a 58-yard punt into the wind by Prefontaine, and just a 6-yard return from Mace Freeman. Michel Dupuis, who started this season in the Bomber training camp, was cut on doctor's advice because he has MS, has come here to Toronto, not showing any symptoms right now. He's healthy, and you know what? He's the #2 tackler on special teams despite being the long snapper.
Well, I also think when he was in Winnipeg, he was in tough with Steve Glenn, the long snapper they've had there for a couple of years, so the writing might have been on the wall earlier than we think.
The Ticats backed up now, just across their own 15-yard line. McManus, quick swing pass outside. Corey Grant can't get away from Adrian Smith, who puts the shoestring on the fleet wide receiver.
Well, that's being on an island right there. The cornerback, Adrian Smith, and Shifty Archie Amerson. They swing the ball out to him. He makes Adrian Smith miss. He's gone.
Tiger Cats now in a 2nd and 10 situation in the shadows of their own goalpost. This Argo defense has been strong this season, and they're facing a Hamilton passing offense that is 2nd last in the league. Flags go down, and it looks like Danny Mac may not have gotten the ball off before the 20-second clock.
And a little uncharacteristic emotion from Danny Mac as he slams the ball on the turf.
Hamilton 14. 2nd repeater.
McManus again employing that long count, staggering his cadence, trying to draw Toronto offside as he's already done once today, but it backfires. He'll take a 5-yard penalty, and it'll be 2nd and 15 now at about their own 12-yard line. McManus passing at 57.5%, well below his usual 60 so far this season. McManus way down deep. It's complete down the sidelines to Andrew Grigg, and he's driven out of bounds by Adrian Smith. What a huge play deep in their own end.
As you say, Mark, after getting a procedure penalty, and on that particular play, a defensive offside by Toronto, so the play will stand. He just goes on a streak pattern straight down the sideline. Andrew Grigg working on number 12, Adrian Smith. Adrian Smith almost lets up. It looks like he doesn't expect the football to be thrown his way, and allows Grigg, who keeps on running. He kind of stops. He looks like he's surprised. The ball over his shoulder. Nice strike, nice big play. McManus to Griggs.
54 yards right down the sidelines. And you know, Danny Mac, they say here in Hamilton, is having one of his best years. We've mentioned that he's had a lot of passes dropped. Well, today, his receivers have been terrific. Not one bobbled drop pass from the veteran signal caller. He'll pass again, showing play action across the middle this time. Oh, there's a drop. There's the first one of the day. Corey Grant right in the breadbasket, and down it goes.
Well, you kind of put the curse on him, Mark. Corey Grant not happy with himself there, just as you talked about how the receivers were responding. Corey Grant just does a curl from the outside back into the inside. Danny Mac, great protection, nice throwing line. You see right there, just off the hands, can't haul it in. Corey Grant with the drop, and you know, Danny will have a little word with him in a huddle and say, come on, big man, pick it up, let's do it again.
That's one thing about McManus, he doesn't point fingers. Encouraging his receivers. 2nd and 10, 6 receivers set. McManus with time, he goes to the sideline, nearly intercepted. Chuck Levy up high to knock that one down as it was intended for Darren Flutie.
What a great job of anticipation and breaking on the football by Chuck Levy. Sitting back, reading Danny McManus's eyes. He sees he's trying to throw the football and breaks on the football. And as you say, almost comes up with a great interception.
Once again, the Cats will call on Paul Osbaldiston in this field goal attempt. from the 50 on the left hash mark.
You just see 23 getting a big paw on that.
Strong wind at his back. It's down, up, and wide left. Osbaldiston misses to the left. Levy, or rather Daryl Mitchell, will run it out. He goes back in the end zone and then just gets across the goal line. That was nearly a 2-point safety for the Tiger Cats as Muzyka makes the tackle for Hamilton here on Labor Day at Ivor Wynne. Daryl Mitchell's return of that missed field goal has Toronto scrimmaging first down on their own 1. What do you think of this decision to bring it out?
Well, he was trying to, create some offense for the Toronto Argonauts, get them gelled up. But what I like about this play is we freeze it right here. Take a look at this guy, Warren Muzyka. He doesn't lose contain. He stays to the outside. That allows him to force him back in, and he eventually makes the play.
Now the fans here at Ivor Wynne with a deafening roar. Argos backed up to the 1-yard line. Kemp, hands off, up the gut, and very little gain there as Darren Joseph carries the mail into a horde of Tiger Cats.
Well, that's twice they've tried to do the quick hitter with the fullback. I'm a little surprised they're not getting Mitchell more involved carrying the football, and that they're trying.
But look at this, Chris. In their only 2 wins this year, the Argos have rushed the ball for more than 20 times a game. All 6 losses, they've not established the run, so they're going to try and stick with that.
But when Jimmy Kemp is calling his own plays, he's got to look at the defense. If he sees 7 guys on Hamilton inside the box, that's a little tough to run a quick hitter up the middle.
Right now, though, your play selection is seriously reduced. 2nd down and 8. Look at the Argo offense. Minuscule compared to Hamilton. 2nd and 8. Where do you go in the playbook? Shotgun situation. Kemp having to shout to be heard. Back in the end zone. He'll pass. It's incomplete. Short to Daryl Mitchell.
Well, they brought some pressure. He had the look he wanted. He had Daryl Mitchell matched up against Clifford Ivory. He had him to the outside. Now, the job of Kemp is to get him the football, and he just doesn't deliver right now. The ball is underthrown, gets away from, as you say. Mitchell's got a step on Ivory, should make the catch. They move the chains. Just a bad throw from Jimmy Kemp.
And it was deafening. The crowd, the pressure, being so close to your goal line. Kemp now, 3rd straight series where his offense has been 2 plays and out.
You can see offensive line coach Dan Ferrone right there. Talking about the coverages, what he's reading.
Prefontaine deep. Another high snap. Here comes the block. He'll run with it. Prefontaine across the 15, and it looks like he'll have a first down on that botched play.
Well, I'll tell you what, this guy is not a kicker. We talked about the toughness of Noel Prefontaine. He loves contact. I mean, if he gets an opportunity, what a heads-up play of reeling in the punt, seeing that the Ticats are on an all-out block, pulling it down, and giving the Toronto Argonauts some life by running for a first down.
It's Paul Masadi, the general manager, conversing. Look at that. What a dangerous play, though, Chris.
Well, absolutely. I mean, that's just the biggest thing right there. The heads-up play.
Mathis filling to make the tackle, but not until Prefontaine had the first down. Just across the 13-yard line as Mike Philbrick tries to fan the flames here. Another look. Wow. There's a punter who's tough as nails. First down. Kemp handing off. Mike Jenkins outside, breaks 1 tackle. Then he's crushed from behind by Joe Montford.
He's crushed from behind, as you say, by Joe Montford, but he picks up good first down yardage. This is what you got to do. Now you're in a 2nd and short situation. We have the whole playbook to work from.
Finally, the Argos get themselves in a 2nd and short after putting themselves in 2nd and long situations for most of this first half. 6:12 and counting left to play until halftime. Argos trying to dig out of their own end. Second and 2, Kemp. He'll hand off. Jenkins. He's got a block from St. John, and he'll have the first down.
Nice job of the offensive line, fullback getting on somebody, putting a helmet on somebody, and if he can't block him up, take him low, knock him down, get away from the pursuit backside. That allows Michael Jenkins to get to the outside. Jude St. John, 66, pulling around. Does a real nice job of sealing. Look at that job of getting into Ivory's feet. Not allowing him to make the play, allowing Mitchell to pick up the first down.
Big Jude St. John, the 6-year veteran out of Western. The timely block. Kemp will stay on the ground. Here's Jenkins outside. Daylight for the first time, and another first down as he drags Jason Lamar for 6 or 7 yards after contact.
Well, this fires up on offensive linemen. Nobody on offense wants to sit back on their heels and pass pro all the time. Juan Roque, number 68, the big 6'6", 360-pound tackle. What a nice job of hooking and cutting that outside pursuit. Look at allowing Mitchell to get to the outside, and as you say, now they're starting to build. Now they're starting to feel like, hey, a little momentum's coming our way.
There's the big right tackle, Juan Roque, 6'8", 360 pounds, tilting that Argo line to the right. First down, Toronto. Finally something to move for on offense. Play action. Kemp will pass. It's complete. Darren Joseph, the fullback, is wide open. And another Toronto first down.
And this is what happens. You run the football. Your linebackers tighten up to the defensive line. That puts them inside the box. So now they have to chase. They're in chase positions. They release number 20, Darren Joseph. Clifford Ivory has got to follow him. As a result of having to follow him, he is in the back pocket of him, but not close enough to prevent the catch. Jude St. John blocking out there, but look at how wide open he is.
Darren Joseph with only his second catch of the season, and a first down, Toronto. Kemp down the line, option to Jenkins, and look at Chris Schelling, Phil. Oh, he didn't buy that one bit. Chris Schelling, who leads the Tiger Cats in tackles with 44 coming into this game.
And I tell you what, he does such a wonderful job of not only, in theory, Chris Schelling has to either take the quarterback or the running back. Now you're going to see him come right there. There he is right there. And look, he passes off the quarterback and still makes the play on the running back. In theory, that's not supposed to happen.
He bluffed Jimmy Kemp on that one as Jenkins now digs deep into his bag of tricks. And Kemp continues to move the ball. This one, though, second and long and 12. Kemp flush from the pocket, in trouble. He'll get it away. It's complete to Andre Kerwin, who keeps his feet. But he goes out of bounds shy of the first down. Andre Kerwin returning from the injury list for Toronto, and an 8-yard gain there. The 5-year Canadian out of Stanford.
A nice job of Kemp. Seeing the pressure, holding onto the football, getting to the outside, waiting until the exact last moment before he releases it. Kerwin catching the football, turning it up, and turning it into another big play.
Third down Argos when we come back.
The CFL on CBC. The road to the Grey Cup. Brought to you by Bumper to Bumper, the auto parts professionals.
To the half, and the Argos with a tremendous drive, 67 yards starting on their own 1-yard line, and now they're in perhaps Chris Walby extreme field goal range for Dan Giancola as pinball looks on. They had a huddle there during the timeout, quarterbacks gathering with pinball, and John Jenkins, the offensive coordinator. This one will be snapped from the 42-yard line, but it's going into a wind.
Going into the wind, and the reason they talk to the quarterback is to make sure they're all on the same page if they have to go a fire or a fake field goal.
49 is where they'll spot it. That's the longest Giancola has kicked so far this season. And remember, he has a tender left knee on his plant leg. Hits it hard and low into the wind and wide right. And Grant will dance around, eat up the clock, and then concede a single for Hamilton. as Giancola bettered his 49 best with a 51-yarder earlier in this half in the first quarter with that wind behind them. But you see the effect of that wind in the face.
Well, the big time, and I also noticed that when Jimmy Kemp came back on the field, he was a little upset when he put his helmet on, and the reason was they were starting to build some momentum. He felt, hey, you know what? This is a long field goal at best. We probably haven't got a chance to make it. Why don't we just keep trying? 3 minutes left and a half.
Well, Chris, we talked to Dan Giancola during the pregame warm-up. This was the scene just before noon as he practiced, worked on that left knee. He said that the fluid burst and that his kneecap's floating around. It's been giving him some pain ever since he banged it on the turf a few weeks ago in Winnipeg. First down, Tiger Cats. Jeff Johnson, stood up right at the line of scrimmage by Big Joe Jackson, the defensive end and the rookie out of San Diego State for the Argonauts.
Oh, nice job of Leroy Blue, who spots the defensive line coming in there, forcing the play back to Joe Jackson, number 95. But nice job. He wants to go. Look right there, but look at all the people there. You can see right there. He wants to get to the outside, but the Argonauts are not going to have anything of that. Force him back inside where Joe Jackson finishes the business.
Second down and 8. Tiger Cats just inside the 45. McManus again with 6 receivers. Nobody back. Across the middle, complete to Archie Amerson. And he's dragged down short of the first down by Chris Neal. Having words with Neal. Amerson never won to lack a few chirps on the field.
Nice job of switching it up. All they do is they put number 59, Mike O'Shea, on the line of scrimmage, and they slide number 18, Chris Neal, over in coverage. He's the quicker of the linebackers, so as you see, he's right there. He's ready to make the play. Sure, it looks like Amerson's open, but we'll give him the 4-yard dump pass. We'll wrap him up.
So the Argos stop the Tiger Cats and force them into a punting situation. O'Shea, the workhorse out here this afternoon, will get a break on this special team as Osbaldiston stands at his 35. Chuck Levy is the only man back for the Argonauts. And a shank job from Osbaldiston as it bounced. No, that's a beauty. It bounces out of bounds at the 15-yard line. And the Oz cleverly prevents an Argo return.
Well, I think Paul Osbaldiston is definitely going to take you off his Christmas card mailing list, calling it a shank. I think that he definitely was trying for the sideline. But you know what? We talked about Toronto's offense last series. You know, they ate about 6 minutes off the clock. They moved the ball over 60 yards. But what they also did was they cooled off Hamilton's offense because they had to sit on the sidelines. You just saw the benefit of that as they came on. Now Hamilton goes 2 and out. Toronto gets another opportunity in offense.
Well, this Argo offense has to be encouraged after that last series, Chris. Kemp finally moving the ball, mixing up his plays, run and pass. But again, they're starting in bad field position at their own 15.
But they got to change the mental attitude. It's the belief that they can get it done. Shake those cobwebs of doubt off.
Michael Jenkins, the lone back for the Argos. Handoff backside to Jenkins, and he's stood up immediately by Big Joe Montford right at the goal line.
Well, no easy task to block number 53, Joe Montford. He's just so agile out there and so quick, and he reads so well that he sees the play, adjusts to the play, comes across him, and he starts on the far side of the field, and he's the one that comes all the way to the short side of the field to make the play.
Montford giving up 120 pounds in that big battle with Juan Roque at the right tackle, and he won that one. Jenkins so far, 8 rushes, with only 38 yards to show for it. In his first game back after missing 2 with an ankle injury. Pass situation, 2nd and long. Kemp to the sideline. Oh, nearly picked off. Diedrich Mathis read that one and closed on the ball, kicked quickly, and boy, there was nothing but daylight to the end zone.
Well, I'll tell you what, when you're throwing wide side, and that's a lot of area the ball has to travel. Remember, there's a wind here. You're throwing into the wind. That ball gets hung up. You see, he's putting everything into it, but the ball gets hung up. It slows down, and as a result, it allows Diedrich Mathis to come in here and, you know, rightfully almost have an interception.
Intended for Nigel Williams, but you're right. Kemp had the spiral taking off his ball into that biting wind. And now Prefontaine will have to stand on his goal line as Kemp comes off somewhat frustrated. Prefontaine, a spiraling drive to Archie Amerson at center field. Amerson following the block of Mace Freeman, closed quickly, and the big paws of Mike O'Shea bring him down.
Well, one of the things that, as we look at the Toronto offense and Cohen Bell there, you know, Toronto's offense has success when they get to the outside. You see John Jenkins going to have a chat with Jimmy Kemp, but when he sits back in the pocket, he has trouble. I think they're more effective attacking this swarming defense, getting to the outside.
Chris, this is interesting because in the weeks leading up to this game, John Jenkins has been calling the plays. Today it's Jimmy Kemp, and now Jenkins has to go down and sit and talk about the next series and tell him what he thinks he should call. But Jimmy's making up his own mind in this football game.
That's the key. He's putting plays in his head, believe me.
And Kerwin Bell is waiting in the wings. They say he's about a week from being fully healthy after injuring both of his ankles. McManus to pass. It's complete to Mike Morreale, who goes down for that one. Just shy of the first down marker at the Toronto 35. 57 seconds to go in the half. And the Tiger Cats are threatening again now, well within Osbaldiston's range.
Well, you can see Tyler Grovestein just getting a little frustrated right there. Just a quick release of Danny Mack. Sees where he's going to throw the football, throws it to a particular spot.
Good spot. 10-yard gain. It'll be a first down for the Tiger Cats. McManus to the sideline. Wide open Andrew Grigg tries to put a move on Wayne Shaw. He does. And another Tiger Cat first down with 40 seconds to play in the half.
And that's the experience of a veteran quarterback like Danny McManus, and the fact that he can just sit back there. He doesn't look to where he's going to throw, sits back, looks him off, and just dumps it out to the outside, and he's spreading the football over the middle, to the right side of the field, the left side of the field, really putting a lot of pressure on the outside people of Toronto.
Pressure on the Argo defense right now. That's 2 catches for Grigg for a total of 67 yards. Remember, he had that huge 54-yard bomb earlier in the second quarter. McManus to throw again across the middle, wide open, Darren Flutie, and another Ticat first down as Simmons makes the tackle for Toronto.
Well, just a nice job of running a stop pattern, inside zone coverage. They're clearing it out. When you got receivers clearing out, there's going to be some openings. And you're not going to tell me a guy as cagey as Darren Flutie is not going to find a hole. He just does a nice job. Look at him sitting right there in front of the defensive back, hauls it in, first down.
First and goal, broken play. McManus just heaves it into the end zone. It's incomplete. A mix-up in the backfield, and now a skirmish at the 5-yard line. The O-line of the Tiger Cats having problems with Joe Jackson of the Argos.
Well, I tell you what, nice job of protection still. You got to wonder, though, sometimes it doesn't look like they're all on the same page here. Looked like Danny McManus almost wanted to pitch that ball, sees the blitz coming, decides to get rid of it, and lucky to come away with just an incomplete pass.
Safety blitz from the former Cat, Orlando Steinhauer, foils that play. Second down and goal now. Tiger Cats, 21 seconds to halftime. McManus, quick drop, looks across the backside, throws it deep. Oh, post coverage, and there's a flag on the backfield. Kelvin Kinney has been flagged as Morreale couldn't find that rainbow pass from McManus.
Well, this is what you can't have. We talk about the fact that, you know what, the play is done.
Major foul, unnecessary roughness. Hamilton, number 50. Major foul, unnecessary roughness. Toronto, number 98. Third down.
It's Kinney and Pascal Charon both flagged, and you know, while the Tiger Cats are first in fewest penalties in the league this year, there've been a lot of big ones like that.
Well, absolutely. They take big ones, and I'm very fortunate that they were offsetting penalties.
Hey, how about this Argo defense, though, Chris? Forcing Hamilton into a field goal situation when they had it first and goal from just across the 5-yard line. 16 seconds to go until the half. Darren Flutie will spot this one at the 13. A chip shot for Osbaldiston. It's up, and it's good. So Paul Osbaldiston puts the Tiger Cats in front 16-4 here on Labor Day with 12 seconds to go until halftime.
And the fortunate things, if you're an Argonaut fan, is the fact that Toronto's still in this game, only down by 12 points. It could have been a lot worse, as you say. They've been in the red zone a number of times and had to rely on a toe of Paul Osbaldiston to get them points. This thing could well be a blowout had it not been for the defense of Toronto coming up tough at the right times.
This is interesting. Paul Massotti, the general manager and former teammate of Pinball Clemens, is a welcome addition on that Argo sideline. Pinball told me the other day he's got lots of advice, and he's welcome to come up and be involved in the game plan, as he has been so far in the first half here in Hamilton. Reminder that coming up right after this football game, we'll have the second part of our Labor Day doubleheader and a preview at halftime. Edmonton at Calgary from McMahon Stadium. And Don Whitman with his first CFL scrapbook of this 50th anniversary season of the CFL on CBC. 12 seconds to go. First down. Kemp will stay on the ground. And there's nowhere to go again, as Jenkins is stuffed.
Well, Joe Monford's making these plays. Now, if you're that tackle on the backside, you have got to cut off the pursuit. You can't sit there and wait and react after Joe Monford's movement. You're Dwayne Morgan. You got to get on him and keep him away from the backside pursuit, because that's how he's making all his plays. He's chasing down these plays.
Second down and 9 for the Argonauts. This will be the last play of the first half, and Kemp will take a knee. And that's it. The gun goes. The Tiger Cats have controlled the first half. It could be a lot worse, as you say, Chris Walby, but it's 16-4. Hamilton leading Toronto. Let's go down to Scott Russell.
Right, Mark. Here's Ron Lancaster. You have the lead, and the Argo defense has played pretty well. Has your offense moved the ball like you wanted to?
Oh, yeah, we're all right. The wind's a little nasty down here. I can't figure out what it's doing. So, yeah, we're all right. I don't have any complaints right now.
How do you like Amerson back in there?
Well, we said he's a big play man. He made a couple big ones for us. That's great.
Ron, good luck.
Okay.
There's Ron Lancaster, coach of the Hamilton Tiger Cats. And here at Ivor Wynne Stadium in Hamilton, Archie Amerson is back, has a touchdown, and the Tiger Cats lead the Toronto Argonauts 16-4 at halftime as the CFL on CBC continues. There's the Burlington Skyway, and all roads lead to Hamilton on this Labor Day. The classic between the Toronto Argonauts and Hamilton Tiger Cats. The Tiger Cats lead 16-4 at halftime. Archie Amerson has a touchdown, his first game back with the Tiger Cats this season. Paul Osbaldiston has 3 field goals, the 16-year veteran in the CFL. Coming up, the second half of the Labor Day Classic. It's out in Calgary between the Eskimos and the Calgary Stampeders. Out to McMahon now, and here is Steve Armitage with a preview.
There have been many dramatic finishes in 38 years of Edmonton-Calgary Labor Day games, but few to match 99, when the Eskimos mounted a goal line stand that denied Wally Bono and company what seemed like a sure win in the final seconds. In 95, with Jeff Garcia running the offense and with Alan Pitts on the receiving end of 3 of 6 TDs, he passed for over 500 yards in what was one of the great aerial displays of this long rivalry. Today, trying to fill the shoes of Garcia, Flutie, and Dickinson is a former Eskimo, Marcus Crandall. At his present rate, he could hit 5,000 yards passing this season, a level never reached by the likes of Garcia and company. Calvin Anderson, 3rd in league rushing with 549 yards, is still the Stampeders' key on the ground and isn't looking to increase his work lead.
I'm just trying to, keep it balanced with my running attack. So, I mean, we don't need to change anything and try to get me the ball more. We just need to keep our thing balanced, and we win. We've been winning with the things we've been doing around here. So, a balanced attack is an effective attack.
Trying to provide the Eskimos with an effective attack is Jason Moss. The second-year pro out of the University of Oregon is now the starting quarterback in place of the early season favorite, Nealon Green.
I've played so many games backing people up that I'm very excited now to finally, be the guy that they're going with. And to have that happen 3 straight games is new territory for me.
Edmonton is new territory for the former Ticat Ronald Williams. The league's second leading rusher behind Mike Pringle was called disruptive in Hamilton. What does he bring to his new team?
Just come in and bring a little bit more attitude, be tougher, show guys how to fight in the trenches, and not as far as fight physically, just play genuine gridiron football.
The Eskimos will try to snap a 3-game losing streak with a rejuvenated offense led by Ronald Williams. The Stampeders will try to snap a 2-game losing streak in the Battle of Alberta against the Eskimos. It's the second half of our CFL on CBC Labor Day doubleheader. A sold-out crowd at McMahon Stadium in Calgary to see the Eskimos and Stampeders.
Thanks very much, Steve. Both the Eskimos and the Stampeders are vying to get close to the Grey Cup champion BC Lions, who lead the West. The Lions are here at Ivor Wynne today, getting set for their next game against the Toronto Argonauts. But who is the Cheshire Cat at Ivor Wynne? Archie Amerson, touchdown, his first game back as the Cats lead 16-4 at the half.
Maloney is the quarterback. He's going to pass.
CFL Scrapbook with Don Whitman. Brought to you by Dodge. Grab life by the horns.
One of the most exciting plays in football is the punt return. And in the history of the CFL, nobody did it better than Edmonton's Henry the Gizmo Williams. The Giz would finish his career as the CFL all-time leader with the most punt return yards in a single game, most yards in a single season, and the all-time career leader in punt return yardage. And 26 times he managed to return a punt all the way, finding holes where none seemed to exist, avoiding would-be tacklers with his amazing burst of speed. In 1991, he returned 5 punts for touchdowns, 2 of them against the Calgary Stampeders on September the 6th, as the Eskimos beat their Alberta rivals 51-37. It was the second time in his career the Giz had 2 punt return touchdowns in a single game.
And the Battle of Alberta will likely produce more of those great moments later today. It's part 2 of our CFL on CBC Labor Day doubleheader. The Eskimos at the Stampeders live at 4 Eastern from McMahon Stadium. But here at Ivor Wynne at the half, it's 16-4. Hamilton leading Toronto. It could be a lot worse, but that Cat offense continues to sputter in the red zone, although they have finally got some big play potential from the new man, Archie Amerson, back in the line.
Well, Archie Amerson has meant the world of difference to this offense right now. We talked about it in the pregame, how he was going to open it up, and I tell you what, Morreale, Griggs, Flutie have all been recipients of that open field right now, but Archie Amerson does so many things. We knew he was going to run the football. Here he scampers up the field for a first down, and on the same drive, he caps it off, makes a nice move, fakes to the outside, comes back in the middle, gets a couple steps on Orlando Steinauer, finishes off with a great touchdown catch.
So Amerson with that big play potential. The Argos, though, continue to have trouble establishing the running game. You said off the top that they wanted to force Kemp to pass. They've done that, and they've also stopped this man, Michael Jenkins.
Well, he's carried the ball 9 times. Now, I said he has to run at least 20 to 30 times. I mean, he's got to run it that many times. That means it's committed to the run. That's the only way you're going to turn things around. The fact is that when Michael Jenkins was running that football, that was the best offensive series that Toronto had this game.
Kemp has completed only 5 of 11 passes. No Argo receiver has more than 1 catch. How long do you think it'll be before he loses that starting role and they bring in Kerwin Bell?
I just think right now, the way Hamilton's defense is playing, they're putting so many guys in the middle, in the box, that Kemp has got to get to the outside. You can't sit back there. He's got mobility. Use the mobility, stretch the defense, make Hamilton adjust to them.
Well, those adjustments are being made right now in the locker room. And Kerwin Bell, they say he's a week or so from coming back with those ankle injuries. Do you think we'll see him, though?
Well, I'll tell you what, as I said before, if you're not playing, you're not staying. And if he just has a problem, you're going to see Bell.
All right, it's 16-4. The Ticats in front of the Argos here at Labor Day at the half. A huge crowd on a sunny September afternoon. We'll be back with the second half right after this. Welcome back to Ivor Wynne Stadium as we get set for the second half of this Labor Day battle between Toronto and Hamilton. Let's go to the sidelines. Here's Scott with Argo coach Pinball Clemens.
Thanks very much, Mark. Mike, you're down 16-4, but you had a series there where Jimmy moved the ball. Is it your contention if he gets to the outside, you'll stay with the run?
You know what? We just need to score points. We feel like we have some run and some pass. They're playing in us a lot of man-to-man situations, so we have to make plays on those things. Whether running the football or passing the football, we have got to score points. It's imperative.
Thanks, Mike. Good luck to you.
Thank you very much.
There's Mike Clemens, coach of the Argos. Mark?
Scott, that statistic is not encouraging when trailing at the half. The Argos have won only 1 of their 6 games in that situation, but Kemp is warming up and is staying in the game as the starting quarterback. Here are the halftime stats, Chris.
Well, you can see the first down, 6-11 in favor of the Ticats. I mean, the biggest thing, I mean, we talked about running the ball. The Argos do have the edge, 60-29 rushing the football. They're even ahead in time of possession. The fact is, though, they got to put something together. They can't live off one drive of football game, and that's all they've done in the first half is put together one successful drive.
And Chris, we'd like to extend a big welcome to our viewers in the United States this afternoon on America One Network as the CFL returns to U.S. television in more than 130 markets across the country. Pinball Clemens pacing the sidelines. You know, as a successful player, this really kills him to see the way the Argos have been playing. Kemp with 5 of only 11 here and 76 yards. Last week he said he was sour. He said, I was disappointed because I know this team can play better. And right now Kemp has got to get the job done. On the sidelines, look at this. Kerwin Bell is warming up. It's a little known fact that the Argos placed him on waivers this week. They dangled him, then recalled him. And they're probably at this stage thinking it's a good thing they did because they may have to call upon the veteran in the second half. We're underway. Michael Jenkins at his own 16-yard line with the kickoff from Osbaldiston. Jenkins hurdling his way across the 30 to the 35-yard line. A 21-yard return as Kemp stays at quarterback for Toronto.
And I think what Coach Clemens said was very important. It's man-to-man. It becomes a personal battle. Every player on that team, on that Argonaut team, has to take it upon himself to meet that challenge, to beat the person he has to do, whether it's offense or defense, for them to come out victorious in this football game.
Clemens wearing the headset. He is in direct contact on that headset with his offensive coordinator, John Jenkins, as they talk back and forth strategy. Clemens wanting to go with more of a running attack in this football game, but they have a little to show for it so far. 1st and 10 Argonauts. Kemp rolling to his right, lots of time. He's going to run for the first time, straight arm, and tackled by Chris Schilling, who stands over top of him and celebrates the tackle. We'd like to apologize, Chris, to our viewers here in Canada that our scoreboard bug has not been working so far this afternoon, so we'll try to keep you up to date in terms of the time on the clock. 14 and counting here to go in the 3rd quarter.
Well, we talked about the fact that Jimmy Kemp has got to get to the outside. You see him the first offensive play trying to get to the outside. Chris Schilling meets that challenge, does a nice job of coming up. We saw him earlier run the option and take both players, so he's done a great job on both those plays.
But another 2nd and long situation. 2nd and about 8. Shotgun. Here comes the rush. Montford pressure from behind. Kemp will try to get it away, and Montford gets him just across the line of scrimmage. It's another punt situation for Toronto.
Well, that's a frustrating play for Juan Roque, the left tackle, because he does his job. He pushes Montford all the way around the pocket. But when you're playing a guy like Joe Montford with the quickness and tenacity and the stay after the ball attitude, you better stay on him until the ball is gone. He doesn't. Joe comes off the block, makes a great job of coming down and tracking down Jimmy Kemp.
Roque played 4 years in the NFL with Detroit Lions and protected Jake Plummer at Arizona State University in college football. Good spiraling punt taken by Archie Amerson at the 21. Daylight for Amerson up the middle, and he puts his head down, and he's rocked hard by Tyler Grovestein of the Argos. But tremendous field position for the Tiger Cats from this man as they go on offense. 13:26 to go in the 3rd quarter here on Labor Day in Hamilton as the Tiger Cats get set to go back on offense. Danny Mack will have the wind at his back in this quarter, and these are his numbers. Pretty decent, Chris, in the first half. 13 of 20 for 187 yards, and that 1 touchdown pass to Archie Amerson.
Well, absolutely. And the time they did start back in their own goal post, he hits Andrew Grigg for a big yard gain. So, I mean, he's moved the ball when he's had to.
And he'll have to take advantage of the wind because both teams have had trouble going into the wind. Argos will have it, of course, for the 4th quarter. First down, Tiger Cats. McManus up behind Carl Coulter. Back to pass. Hitch pass, far sideline. Andrew Grigg has it and then drops it. That's the 2nd catchable ball that's been dropped here today by the Tiger Cats.
Andrew Grigg took his eyes off the football. Do you know why he took his eyes off the football? Because he was getting ready to pursue Wayne Shaw, who he thought, number 9 for the Argonauts, was going to intercept this football. Watch him stop. He stopped. He's actually looked. He knows that if he doesn't come up with that, it's going the other way. And as he said, with the wind, this ball has been hanging up.
And look at the way Danny Mack has spread the ball around to his favorites, Flutie, Morreale, Grigg, and Corey Grant, and Emerson with 2 each. Tremendous distribution. McManus back to pass on second down out of the backfield to Jeff Johnson, and he drops that one. That was catchable too, Chris. That's 3 bobbles, and the receivers have finally got those bad hands going again.
Well, the ball's a little high, but as Tommy Joe Coffey used to say, if you can touch it, you can catch it. And, you know, these are things that really kill momentum. And, I mean, Hamilton would love to come out, take that ball, march it down, get some more points, whether it be off Paulus Baldeston or a touchdown preferably, but something positive.
3rd and 10 as McManus comes off. First series, 2 and out. Johnson would like to put his hooks on that one. He has good hands. Osbaldiston back to punt. He's averaged just under 40 yards in this one. Chuck Levy, the only man back. A spiraling drive again to the far sideline. Levy has it at the 25, across the 30. Finally dropped at about the 35-yard line in front of the Tiger Cat bench. 12:14 to go here in the 3rd quarter. 12-yard return from Chuck Levy, the former BC Lion and the man who spent the offseason with the Arena Football League. As we take a look at your game notes, Chris, and how they've played out this afternoon.
Well, I mean, we talked about offense, commit to the run. They 15 rushes, 64 yards. They haven't created any turnovers on defense, but they've been holding them in. For Hamilton, they have 3 drop passes. We talked, those are drive killers. On defense, they wanted to force Kemp to pass. They felt that that's how they'd have more success winning this football, and they have forced them to throw the football.
Yes, they forced them to throw the ball by stopping the run game. They've really bottled up this Argo offense. 12 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter. Kemp straight back to pass. Pressure now. Montford collapsing the pocket. Kemp rolls out. He's got some time, and now he'll run. Kemp being pursued from behind by Montford, and he also gets hit by Chris Schelling for little or no gain on that play when he had lots of time to look downfield.
Well, this is the thing you have to prevent. I mean, I'm all for Jimmy Kemp calling his own plays. I'm all for him getting to the outside here. Juan Roque, 68, does a nice job of washing Montford inside. Now make your decision. If you're going to run with the football, go. But by him stopping and ducking already, he's just limiting any possibility of getting positive yards on that play.
2nd down and 9, Argonauts. Another 2nd and long situation for Kemp, standing in the shotgun formation. They'll keep Jenkins in the block. 5 receiver set. Rolling right, gets outside of the rush, throwing deep downfield. Alfonso Browning has it for the Argonauts and steps out of bounds at the Ticat 50.
And this is what we're talking about. By the fact that he gets to the outside, he creates opportunity. Now, Jimmy Kemp, we saw his scrambling ability last time, but at least when he gets out to the outside this time, I mean, this is a nice job. He gets out here, there's nobody there. Now he can at least have the opportunity of running the football for the 1st down or throwing successfully like he did in this play.
Browning, who starred with the Alouettes, coming to the Argos this year, has 4 touchdown catches this season to lead the Argos in that department. He's a big target. Now he's getting some playing time in the 2nd half. On the ground, Jenkins nowhere to go. It's Montford and Clifford Ivory swarming. They are go back with some help from Idris Haroun. No gain on the play as he's dropped right on the line of scrimmage.
A nice job at the point of attack by Idris Haroun. Staying there, stymieing the block, forcing Jenkins to change the direction he wants to initially go. He's looking to go outside, can't go. He has to come back inside right now. Uh-oh, there's number 53. I guess this play is dead.
Montford has been everywhere. Really effective, stopping the run and putting pressure on Jimmy Kemp. 2nd down and 10. Argos at the Hamilton 50. Kemp back to pass. He airs it out too high, nearly intercepted. Clifford Ivory got his hands on that one after it bounced off the hands of Michael Jenkins.
Well, this is a poor decision by Jimmy Kemp. I mean, you just cannot throw this football, force this football, if you would, into this situation. Look at, I mean, I know you want to run the screen pass, but there's Montford, there's Ivory. He's not in the open. You want to run the screen pass when you got the defenders rushing in, trying to sack you, and you got some open field to work with.
It looked like that play didn't have time to develop, but the blocks didn't get a chance to develop in front of the play. And you're right, everybody was sandwiched in a short space. Prefontaine drives a spiral over the head of Mace Freeman again and into the end zone. Freeman will turn around nonchalantly and concede a single point. A 52-yard punt single for the Argonauts.
Back at Ivor Wynn, 16-5 for the Tiger Cats. Here's Damon Allen of the BC Lions. They take on the Argos next week. You got a broken hand and you're gone for a while. How are you doing, though, Damon?
Well, actually, I'm doing pretty good. We're just out here enjoying the festivities. It's been a long time since I've been in the city audience watching a football game, but it's just as difficult watching it on the sidelines, too. But I'm having a great time with my other teammates.
Tough time for the Lions with Alfred Jackson with a broken leg now. Does that really hurt the football club?
Well, he's going to be out probably 3 to 4 weeks, but obviously we're going to miss Alfred. But, you know, some other guys have to step up, and we have to get a victory next week.
Enjoy the football game, and good luck to you, Damon.
Yeah, thanks a lot. I want to say hello to my family back in Vancouver. Hello, girls.
There's Damon Allen, guys.
All right, Scott, you got 2 huge losses. Damon Allen and Alfred Jackson both out for the BC Lions, who lost that game 23-19 to Montreal on Friday, and of course staying in the East to get ready for that big game on Saturday in Toronto.
And of course losing their great receiver, number 7, Alfred Jackson. That's a key loss.
2nd down and 4 for the Tiger Cats. With 9 minutes to play here in the 3rd quarter, ball at their own 40-yard line. McManus in the shotgun. Will pass to Morreale, and he's got it for a 1st down. Mike Morreale, whose stock is rising in this game, known for a clutch inside receiver. Had some trouble this year with a few drops, but he's played a tremendous game here this afternoon on Labor Day.
Again, another stop route, just kind of going, sitting down in front of the defender real well. Back to the defender, hands to the quarterback, and comes up another clutch grab and another 1st down.
11 yards on the game. That's 4 catches this afternoon from Mike Morreale for 39 yards. Ticats moving the chains now. 1st and 10. 8:22 and counting to go in the 3rd quarter. Ball at the 51. McManus shows play action out of the backfield. It's Dwayne Ford, a diving catch. That ball is no good. They say he hit the turf. Ford had 3 catches last week, his only catches of the season. And he's arguing with the officials here, and the fans support him. Let's get a look at it, Chris. Was it a catch or did it hit the turf?
Well, it's just a nice job of his effort, but as he brings the football down, he actually uses the turf to kind of cradle the football. And it's a good call by the referees who are right there. But you'd expect any football player to kind of at least make an argument for the catch.
I was at a quarterback club the other day, and they asked Dwayne Ford what it was like to play at Ivor Wynn as a visiting player with the Stampeders and the Argos, and he said, "I'd rather spend a day in prison than play at Ivor Wynn." 2nd down, McManus across the middle, goes back to Dwayne Ford. That time he made good. 1st down, Tiger Cats.
He's such an invaluable member of this football team. I mean, played a number of years in Winnipeg. I played him as a teammate of mine. Played with Calgary. And what he does so well, you never really gets an opportunity to touch the football, but when he does, he makes things happen. Great hands by the 11-year veteran. Coming out of the backfield, snagging a big key 1st down.
Yeah, he had 3 catches for 29 yards last week, and he went to the meetings, the film meetings with the receivers, and they said, "Hey, you go back with the O-line." He said, "Hey, wait a minute, I had 3 catches last week." And, you know, none of the receivers were big enough to stand up and say, "No, you better leave." On the ground again, it's Dwayne Ford. They call his number, and he's close to a 1st down. Rumbling across the 35 for a gain of 9.
Well, he's in fantastic shape. He's as big as a house, and he's mainly used primarily as a pass blocker because he's like a little offensive lineman, except he's got a better build than 98% of us.
Well,
but when he gets an opportunity to shine and touch that pigskin, boy, he's making the most of it. And you couldn't be happier. He's just a class act.
It'll be 2nd down and inches on that big game from Ford, who is a personal trainer in the offseason in the Toronto area. Grew up season ticket holder for the Argos. Today he's going against the double blue, wearing the stripes of the Tiger Cats.
And I think that's one of the things that Hamilton loves about him, having a big guy like that. You give him the ball a couple times, throw a couple passes, it's another guy the defenses have to worry about.
And he's part of the fundamental change the Tiger Cats made this year, going to a 2-back system. In fact, Danny McManus hasn't played in the 2-back offense since 1995. They want to establish the run here in Hamilton, and they're using Dwayne to help. Across the middle, McManus complete to Darren Flutie, and a first down.
Absolutely. And why is that play? I mean, they should all go over to Dwayne Ford now and shake his hand. The fact that he went over the middle, the fact that he carried the football, Danny Mac just comes back to a little play action. Freezes the linebackers, hits Flutie right over, man coverage. Nice job of getting the ball, but nice execution of the play action pass by the Hamilton offense.
18 yards the game for Darren Flutie, his 4th catch of the ball game. 6:07 and counting left in the 3rd quarter. Ticats moving the ball with the wind. Back to Dwayne Ford, but this time the Argos read that one as Alfred Payton wraps him up right at the line of scrimmage.
Now, Alfred Payton came into the game tied with Joe Montford for sacks with 9 each. And you got to give some credit, even though he made the play on that running play, to this offensive line of the Ticats. Because I tell you, whether he's on either side, Dittman and Hack have done a nice job. We haven't called number 99's number a lot today, Mark.
No, and you know how he loves to win the sack race. In fact, I was talking to him the other day. He couldn't believe Montford had 2 last week against Edmonton to pull into the tie. But Danny Mac gets rid of the ball so quickly again with an offensive line with only 2 sacks. It's hard to get him. McManus pumps, throws to the end zone. Wide open, Andrew Grigg, touchdown, Tiger Cats. Andrew Grigg with his 3rd touchdown of the season. On a nice pump fake from Danny Mac.
Absolutely. The pump fake froze Adrian Smith in his tracks. Little stop and go. You're going to see him. He's at the bottom of your screen. Little pump fake by Danny Mac. Freezes number 12, Adrian Smith. Andrew Grigg just keeps running wide open, much like the pass that Andrew Grigg caught from his old goal line in the 2nd quarter.
And so the Tiger Cats make good in the red zone. Going to Grigg for pay dirt. The former Sioux junior, Andrew Grigg, he's a sneaky receiver, Chris. Can lull you to sleep and then burn you, as he did there with Adrian Smith.
Well, a nice pump fake. You can see Danny Mac fakes like he's going to throw it, brings it back down. That freezes the cornerback, Adrian Smith. You can see him right there. He is a good 5 yards behind Andrew Grigg, who just keeps running. Nice toss, nice catch, nice execution by Danny Mac in that Ticat offense.
And a nice guy, Andrew Grigg. 3 catches for 85 yards so far today and 1 touchdown. And the kickoff from Osbaldiston goes out of bounds at the Argo 12-yard line.
And Mark, as we wait to see what Toronto decides to do as they bring the offense on the field, it's time. It's time. We can't keep waiting. If you're an Argonaut fan, this offense has got to start getting going.
And
now.
You know what? They're going to take the ball at the 45-yard line, because the way things have been going, they've been having to dig out of their own end zone on returns all afternoon. As Kemp comes on the field, Danny Mac good on 4 of 5 passes for 61 yards in that last drive, Chris.
Oh, just does a great job. He mixes it up. I mean, look at over the middle. Morielli finding the stop pattern. Goes to the other side of the field. Dwayne Ford, a nice catch. Dwayne Ford over the middle. The Dwayne Ford highlight film right here. Dwayne Ford up the middle, running the ball. Then he does a nice play action pass. Look at that. That's perfection, people.
Kemp with time. Scrambles now. Couldn't find a receiver. And he's dropped quickly by Tom Hips.
Hey, my bag, dog.
Where do you want it?
Andrew Grigg enjoying the sunshine as this game smiles on him. Capping that 8-play drive with an 18-yard touchdown reception, his 3rd of the season.
And the big thing right there, you're eating the clock. 4:27.
4:15 to go now in the 3rd quarter. Argos into the wind. Time running out now as they trail 23-5. 2nd down. 15 for the Argos. Kemp to pass. After that loss, he scrambles. It's complete to Daryl Mitchell. 1st down territory and more as Mookie, wow, slides across the 45 just inside the Hamilton 40-yard line. Finally hearing from Mookie Mitchell in this game.
Well, Mitchell doing a great job, but Jimmy Kemp avoiding the rush, the pressure, if it were, getting outside. Look at Mitchell. Sit down, sit down, sit down. Your quarterback's in trouble. Come back to the football. Does a nice job. But what is he known for? The yak, the yards after the catch. That's what's so dangerous about Daryl Mitchell.
Darryl Mitchell, the Argos' leading receiver, with 657 yards coming into this game. 28 on that play. Argos threatening now with 3:17 to go. Handoff, Michael Jenkins breaks the tackle of Schelling, but he can't get more. There's Joe Montfort waiting for him along with Ben Huff.
Well, the guy that's breaking up all these plays, we got to start talking about him, is Chris Schelling. He's just doing an amazing job. This is the linebacker. Now, when you got too many guys to block, you know you can't block backside. He's free flow, which means nobody can touch him. He comes in, watch him. He's just going to chase this down from the backside. Look at, there he is. You can't get a helmet on him. As a result, he's going to stuff that play every time.
The Ticat linebackers, the strength of this defense, as Schelling, Lamar, and Woodson lead the team in tackles. Kemp flushed again, and down he goes. 5 Tiger Cats. Schelling and Haroon put him down at center field.
Well, Chris Schelling again. We're talking about him. He made the play last time. We've seen him take away the option. It's just to bring it to many people. This is a great defensive scheme. They're coming right at him. They're not fooling around. Look at all the guys. Look at all the guys coming. There's going to be one guy free. They dismiss him right there. Left tackle Juan Roque is so worried about getting to his guy that he passes up Schelling, lets number 30 of the Ticats through, and he does the rest of the damage himself.
Schelling with his 5th quarterback sack of the season, and the Argos must punt with 2:20 to go in the 3rd quarter. Prefontaine, another big leg high over the head of Tony Akins. That's the 3rd time he's out-punted the returners for Hamilton, and Akins will concede a single. That's the 3rd punt single for Prefontaine today.
1 point is scored. First down, Hamilton.
Alfred Payton was called for no yards on that punt cover, but the Tiger Cats have declined the penalty, and so the point does go on the scoreboard. It's 23-6 Hamilton.
And those points aren't really helping you. You'd rather pin the Ticats down inside the 10-yard line than take a 1 point and give them good field position.
1:57 to go in the 3rd quarter. As Pinball said at the half, they got to score some points, but not punt singles. They got to get them in bigger batches. McManus hitch pass, Andrew Grigg complete with Wayne Shaw giving him at least 10 yards.
Well, Andrew Grigg has burned Adrian Smith twice on big plays, one-on-one to the outside. This play, number 9, Wayne Shaw, respecting the speed of Andrew Grigg. He's playing off him 10 yards. That's an easy pitch and catch there, Mark.
Wayne Shaw, the only Canadian cornerback in the CFL right now. Learned at the heels of Donald Smith, the great veteran. The gain is 9, just shy of the first down, 2nd and inches. Tiger Cats at the 45-yard line. McManus hands off. Archie Amerson with at least 6 and a first down for Hamilton.
Well, it's frustrating, and this is, we're really going to start checking the mental abilities to stay in the football game by the Argonaut defense, because right now I see the heads are down. You can see them just doing a shift. They're doing a slant. They're slanting to the short side of the field. Mike O'Shea makes the play, but not before they pick up a first down.
Ticats moving the chains again. 1st and 10 at their own 51. 53 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. There's the outlet pass, Archie Amerson. Great move as he turns O'Shea inside out, and O'Shea is limping. He's playing with a brace on that right knee, which has been banged up this season.
This is what Archie gives you. The ability to come out of the backfield. The ability to get a matchup against Mike O'Shea, who's a great linebacker, but does not have the same foot speed as Amerson. And you can see he just turns people inside out. As a result, again, good yardage on first down, but he's just mixing it up. They've got so many plays going. The defense doesn't know if they're coming or going right now.
Amerson with a gain of 4 leaves the game as Tony Akins comes in at receiver for the Tiger Cats. The 6th receiver set here as they fan Dwayne Ford out of the backfield as well. McManus across the middle, wide open. Tony Akins and Argo not within 10 yards as Orlando Steinauer, the safety, finally brings him down across the 35-yard line.
Pure frustration by number 21, Orlando Steinhauer. And why? Broken coverage. They don't know who they got right now. The fact that Danny McManus is mixing up this offense so well, guys are losing who they have to cover. It's a one-on-one thing. He's wide open. He's just going to come. Look at him. Look at this guy waving. Both of these guys right there are wide open. Blown coverage. Steinhauer saving a touchdown.
This will be the last play of the third quarter. Zeros on the clock. First down. McManus, last play with the wind at his back. Another hitch pass, quick. It's complete to Grigg. He breaks a tackle from Adrian Smith. And finally, some support from Chris Neal and Marcelo Simmons. Short gain on the play. That's it for the third quarter. The Tiger Cat defense has been mauling, and the offense has been clicking as pinball looks sour again. Welcome back to Ivor Wynne Stadium in Hamilton as we take an early peek out west at McMahon Stadium in Calgary, where they're expecting a sellout this afternoon for Game 2 of the doubleheader against Edmonton. Marcus Crandall wearing number 1. Will be at quarterback for the Stampeders, who have been struggling this year. As Crandall tries to get a hold of this Wally Buono offense and make it work. And of course, on the Edmonton side, a lot of eyes will be on the man who was cut loose here in Hamilton. Ronald Williams, chopped by this man, Ron Lancaster, fed up with his finger pointing and blatant complaining on the sidelines here in Hamilton. But he's the number 2 rusher in the CFL, so he should help out the Eskimo attack.
I don't think Mark Nora's going to be too happy to hear that, though, Mark.
No. Danny Mack with 7 straight completions. Hot here in the second half. Down the middle. Oh, Darren Flutie had it. Then he had it knocked loose, and there's a flag down at the 15-yard line. Chris Neal filling quickly on Darren Flutie, but was it too quickly?
Oh, that was a nice job.
Forward pass interference. Toronto, number 11. First down.
They're going to give it to Simmons, Marcelo Simmons, interference, and so it continues to go wrong for the Argos here, as Danny Mack continues to move the offense for Hamilton. First down, Tiger Cats at the 14 of the Argos. 14:20 to go in the football game. McManus back to pass, lots of time into the end zone for Morielli, and it's overthrown.
Let's go.
A nice job of sitting back there by that offensive line. Look at the three-quarter stats. 334 yards, but more importantly, in that third quarter, Toronto only amassing 33 yards, while Danny McManus riding the hot hand, 8 of 11 for 100 yards passing. I mean, that's the big difference, and you control the clock.
Well, the time of possession's almost equal, but look at the first downs. Half the first downs for Toronto. They've got to move the chains, and pinball knows it. It's desperation time. They've got to win this football game if they want to stay in the race in the East. McManus, second down, and it's incomplete. Intended for Dwayne Ford. It was thrown behind him, and so it's another field goal situation from the red zone for Hamilton.
Well, that's fine, but Danny Mack, he pointed himself on that play and said, that's my bag. That's my bag. He just threw it behind Dwayne Ford. All he was going to do is release the back.
So when you cut that activity down, because what's going to happen is my guy's going to get mad. He's going to turn around and push it.
Talking to the line judge, Jeff Harbin, explaining that there's some cheap stuff going on out there.
Well, what happens is when you're on the back end of the score, tempers start to flare, and he just doesn't want to get out of hand.
21-yard field goal from Paul Osbaldiston is good. And so the Hamilton margin widens. It's 23-6.
From the Team Canada of the Lynx, congratulations to CBC and the CFL for the 50th year of great football on television. Way to go, CBC!
And way to go, A.J. Thorne, Donko Jones, and Laurie Kane, winners of the Women's Nations Cup last week in golf. And it is a milestone, 50 years of the CFL on CBC. As we look at the Argo bench, they're in top. Montfort jumps the gun. Flags are down on that first down series for Jimmy Kemp. The defense huddling. They were rather porous on that last exchange.
We talked about the fact that, as we say, Hamilton being called for offside, that, you know, they had to stay to the run. Well, they're at the situation now where they actually have to throw the ball, and this is exactly what the defenders of Hamilton wanted, because now they can come after him and just create all kind of, especially with a 20-point lead.
So Montford called for offside. It'll be first down repeated and 5 to go. 13-18 remaining in the football game in regulation time. Handoff. Michael Jenkins finds a hole, cuts back. And that's one of the more encouraging runs we've seen in the second half for Toronto. Down 26-6 here in the fourth quarter. Damon Allen with that broken hand, and the BC Lions on hand here this afternoon. Watching, scouting this Argo team they'll face in 1 week at the Skydome next Saturday in Toronto.
I wonder if he's got a clothing line. I kind of like that shirt.
I don't think it would fit you though. Front row seat for Damon. Kemp to pass. It's complete. Mitchell had it, lost it, brought it back in at center field, but by bobbling that, he lost at least a yard. The gain will be 8, 2nd and 2.
Nice job of concentration still by Mitchell to come back to the football. Good throw, good protection by the offensive line, comes back, cradles the football, loses it momentarily, but as you say, concentrates enough to bring it in and puts him in a 2nd and short situation. 2nd and 2. Just shy of center field. Ticats showing Blitz's movement again. Looked like Chris Schelling. Option. It's dropped. Then Michael Jenkins gets it on the first hop. But it looks as though Chris Schelling jumped offside. Flags are down. Well, an all-out blitz by the Hamilton Ticats. And as you say, number 30 on the bottom. Short side, just keeps coming in. He tries to anticipate the count. You can see him right there.
Hamilton, number 30, first down.
Chris Schelling's done it all for the defense today, Mark, but that time a little too eager.
Hey, and that prevented a 9-yard loss. That penalty for the Argos as Jenkins fumbled the ball and got it back on the first hop. There's Alfred Payton alone with his thoughts on the Argo bench, still looking for his first sack of this football game. This Argo defense has been toyed with by Danny McManus this afternoon. 11:43 to go in the fourth quarter. Blitz. Oh, Jimmy Kemp tries to escape and is cut down by Ben Huff, the son of a former CFLer, Marty Huff, a linebacker with the Edmonton Eskimos. The gain is just 1.
A nice job by 99, Ben Huff. They really like his push inside. Wearing number 99, old Cummins number, defensive tackle last year. Gets up there, gets good push. You see Schelling again in the backfield, but Huff just enough to grab the shoelaces and bring down Jimmy Kemp.
Jeff Cummins, of course, coaching this year at Acadia University in Eastern Canada. 2nd down and 9. Kemp trying to move the pocket, steps up, and he's swarmed and sacked again. It's Joe Montford with his 11th of the season.
Well, I'm going to tell you what. Montford gets a sack, but the quarterback doesn't help by coming back inside the block. When your offensive lineman thinks the quarterback's going to go to the outside, he's going to try and hook up to the inside. You see, look at Dwayne. He's trying to get him going that way. Now he comes back to the outside. Bam. Everybody has to be on the same page, Mark. The offensive lineman have to understand where the quarterback's going to be setting up, whether it's going to roll right, roll left, and that predicates how they block.
So the Argos will turn it over with 10:47 to go in the fourth quarter. Prefontaine angling his punt out of bounds, and they'll spot it at about the 19-yard line, where the Tiger Cats will take over 1st and 10 as the Argos regroup. Oh, a big house here at Ivor-Wynne on a glorious Labor Day Monday here in Southern Ontario. The Argos huddling again. The offense ineffective. They've stuffed the run game, Hamilton has, and they put pressure on Jimmy Kemp, sacking him 4 times this afternoon as John Jenkins tries to figure out something with 10:30 to go in the game. McManus, hitch pass screen. It's complete to Darren Flutie. Grofstein makes the tackle. The Flutie won't go down. Finally, they blow it down.
And one thing about the Ticats, they're not just going to sit here and rest on the score. They're going to keep coming after you right now. And Danny Mack is throwing it out wide. Little hitch screen, trying to get the block by the other receiver for Flutie to help spring him. Doesn't get it. And brought down, but still picks up a nice 6-yard gain on first down.
McManus calling his own plays. Second down and 4. 9:47 and counting to go here in the fourth quarter. Short drop, quick pass. It's underthrown and behind Andrew Grigg, incomplete. And so a punting situation now for Hamilton. Into the wind, deep in their own zone. A chance for Toronto to get some decent field position.
Absolutely, and Toronto just came after Danny McManus that time. Brought a blitz from the outside. Said we're going to try and come. Steinhauer coming up. Danny Mack has to release the ball quickly, as you see Mike Philbrick right there. And as you say now, Paul Volson has to punt into a stiff wind.
They blow that punt situation down. Looked like Ozzie was trying to get a quick snap to fool the Argos. So the ball hadn't been whistled in the play, Chris. So they'll do it again, spotting it at the 25-yard line. Now we're underway. Argos looking like they're going to try to block this one. Long count from Ozzie now. 11 Argos on the line of scrimmage. Here they come. Nearly blocked. Rio Wells in close. Chuck Levy back, the lone Argo. Inside his 35. 5, 6, 7 cats running him around, and there's nowhere to go.
Great downfield coverage.
There's a flag back at the 25. 52-yard punt and a 5-yard return from Levy as Bowles makes the tackle.
Toronto 99. First down.
Well, Alfred Payton still not off the football field. Still having words with the players on the Hamilton bench. Very unhappy about the way things are going right now.
Swack has been frustrated. It's the holding call, and that'll move the Argos back to their 22-yard line to start this series with 9:09 to play in the fourth quarter. These are the most relaxed guys I've ever seen in a football game. Danny Mack and Darren Flutie.
20-point lead will do that to you.
26-6. 9 minutes to go in regulation. Kemp with time this time across the middle. It's complete to Ted Alford, and a huge first down for the Argos. Just inside their own 50-yard line. They'll spot it at the 48. Alford back from the Arena League.
And a nice story of a guy coming up, working down, coming back in, running a little in pattern, good hands, and a nice throw by Jimmy Kemp right on the money.
And beating out Archie Amerson for that spot on the Argo offense. A 24-yard gain. Here comes the blitz again. This time Kemp steps up. It's complete to Darryl Mitchell. Wide open. He's got a block from Ted Alford. Across the 45 to the 40. Now Mitchell turns it on. And a huge gain for the Argos as now they catch fire on offense.
You know, a guy that's relatively being quiet, but every time still touches that football, is such an exciting football player. After he gets the football, he's just so slippery, and it's almost like he's got 2 gears, fast and faster.
Kemp in the hurry-up offense, calling from the line of scrimmage. First down at the 30 of Hamilton. In the shotgun, pressure again. He sidelines that one, looking for Jenkins, but it's knocked down. Montford again breathing down his neck.
Well, that's a nice job of Jimmy getting rid of the football right there, because as you say, 53 was bearing down on him, looking for another sack or at least a great hit. Kemp wisely unloading the football. It's going to come from the top of your screen right there. Just working. Just going to keep coming. Keep working. Nice inside move. He just swats Morgan. Now you got to have protection. You want to know why the passing game is not working? Well, that's one of the reasons right there, Mark.
He made Morgan look like a heavy bag on that one. Second down and 10. Kemp will throw again. It's in and out of the hands of Darryl Mitchell. He can't squeeze it high at the 15.
Nice play, nice job of that time, giving Kemp the time to throw the football. Mitchell finds the opening, gets up there. He's got to squeeze the football. He's got to catch this football. You know what he can do when he catches it, but this time he goes up. Look, a good protection. He sits back there, nice throwing line, right on the money. Mitchell's got to come up with those catches.
3rd and 10, and the Argos are going for it, trailing by 20 with 7:13 and counting to go here in the 4th quarter. The crowd now really loud as Kent stands in the shotgun. 6 receivers here on 3rd and 10. The gamble. Kent will roll. He'll throw deep. Andrew English, it's knocked down. The Argos will turn it over on downs here in the 4th quarter. Disappointment written all over the face of Darryl Mitchell. 1 drop pass on that last series, and he was also wide open.
Well, this is the thing. I mean, Kemp tries to force into double coverage, but look at this. Watch this. Look at that. There's nobody around. He's wide open. You got to take what the defense gives you and not try to force a situation.
McManus, play action, nice fake, passing to Darren Flutie, gets a good block from Greg, and more yardage on a big first down across the 50.
You know, the thing that's really disheartening for the Argonauts right now is the offense is not doing the job. The defense is being on the field all day. They can't, they're just falling apart now. Now, you know, when you got this much 6 minutes and ticking left in the game, they lose that edge, and they start to slow up. They start not to concentrate, and this is where offenses can really exploit you and make you even look sillier.
McManus has now passed for more than 300 yards. He goes on the ground. There's the Canadian sophomore pro, Jeff Johnson, hog-tied out of bounds, but another decent gain on the play.
Little off-tackle play. Give it to number 33, Jeff Johnson. He tries to go off-tackle, bounces it to the outside, picks up a nice 6 yards on the gain. And I'm telling you right now, Hamilton's offense is having fun right now. This is it. They know in the back of their mind, barring a miracle, this game is theirs.
Jeff Johnson didn't start playing football until grade 12. His parents thought it was a little too rough. He was lifting weights one day, and someone said, hey, do you want to play for the high school team? And the rest is history. Big rusher for York University. Wasn't even drafted. Came here as a free agent. Flutie drops that one and nearly hands it off to Chris Neal.
Well, I think that play right there is indicative of the woes the Argonaut defense is going through. Here's a chance for Chris Neal on a bobbled ball by Darren Flutie. It's in his hands. Realistically, this should be 7 points for the Argos. Give him something to smile about. Look at this. Look at it. He actually throws it up.
There's nobody else there. He could have run for a touchdown.
It's a touchdown. I mean, it's a gift. You don't get those very often, but he just can't believe it. The gods must be crazy. I'm just having a bad day. Let's finish it out.
5:27 and ticking to go in the 4th quarter. Punt situation. Paul Osbaldiston to deliver this one to Chuck Levy. And the Argos look to have too many men on the field. Calvin Kinney came running on at the last minute, number 98, and now a timeout has been called as Kavis Reed comes on the field. He has taken over from Urban Bowman in the special teams coaching category.
Well, special teams hasn't really hurt the Argonauts today. They've done a pretty good job on special teams. I'm anticipating by the last angle I just saw of Paul Osbaldiston, as you can see Kavis Reed right there, special team guy, making sure, counting, talking to them. They really like him. Got a lot on the ball, got a lot of things. Played, had a nice career with Edmonton, except for that unfortunate neck injury.
But you use a timeout here on a botched.
You know what? It doesn't matter at this point. The timeout's not going to save you right here at this particular time. It's better to get it straight and build.
Coming up in about a half an hour at 4 Eastern, it's the Battle of Alberta. The Eskimos and Stampeders in that fight for second place in the West. Ready to go here, 3rd and 4. Osbaldiston will angle this one to the right. Can't get it out of bounds. Chuck Levy, lots of room and a block. Here comes Schelling from behind. Wow, what closing speed. That wide side was open, and Schelling came from behind. He's everywhere on that field.
He's absolutely having a game. I tell you right now, you hate to say that a guy deserves a nod and looking at maybe defensive player of the week already, but hey, if I got a ballot, he's definitely one of my candidates. He's just all over. Special teams, defense. he's beaten the option play 2-on-1. He's done everything he's asked and more. He's playing inspired football, and I think that's what happens when you got a guy like that, Mark, who raises his game up one notch. The rest of the guys say, hey, I'm right with you. And the Hamilton defense has played superb today.
Schelling, the leading tackler on this hungry Ticat defense on Labor Day. Kemp to pass. Pressure from behind. He gets it away. A reach and incomplete as Ted Alford tried to come back to that one.
You know what? The thing that really, I like the fact Ted Alford, great athletic ability, trying to come back. He made a circus catch in the first quarter, much on the same type of play, but the balls aren't where they should be. See the defensive leaders this season: Montfort 11 sacks, Schelling 44 tackles, Jason Lamar 43 right behind him. They're all over the field. And as you say, the linebackers are tough here, Mark, but you got to work with that front four, those defensive linemen, and they're really doing a job.
2nd and 10, 4:25 on the clock. It's complete. Mitchell tries to shake Schelling, but he can't. And so he'll be short of the first down. We'll spot the ball just across the 25 at about the 27-yard line. It'll be 3rd and about 4 yards for the Argos. It's desperation time, though, with 4 minutes to go in the quarter, and they will go for it again on 3rd down.
Most definitely. And I tell you what, you got to give a lot of credit to Don Southern, defensive coordinator of the Hamilton Tiger Cats, who really has played a superb game plan in this chess match.
Kemp in the shotgun. Here comes the blitz. Schelling trying to come in. Pass outside. It's complete. And Nigel Williams goes high for it, but does he have the first down? It'll be interesting where they spot this.
He'll have the first down, Mark.
Yes. One of the Tiger Cat defenders was touching the turf inside the first down marker, trying to influence the officials. But Williams has it, and there's the defensive coordinator, Don Southern, who has painted a masterpiece today.
He's really done an excellent job of getting the most out of his people in the right situations. Because remember, when I say, and I make the analogy of a chess game, that's what it is. You try and match up and anticipate what the offense is going to run, and he's really got it conquered today.
Kemp on first down. Sidewinds it. It's tipped and nearly intercepted. Clifton Ivory had it, but there's a flag back at the pile where Kemp is emerging.
Well, they might have to scrape Kemp off the turf. He just took a shot. He just sat in there, tried to wait till the receiver came open, and just as he was delivering the football, just got crunched.
Major foul, roughing the passer, 177. Major foul, unnecessary roughness, Toronto 51, 2nd down.
Well, I tell you what, I know the rule is, the new rule is, Mark, you're allowed 1 step.
And Chris, they've enforced this with more strictly this year because quarterbacks were getting hit. But Ron Lancaster has been saying, if you're going to be close and touch the quarterback and get called anyway, why don't you take his head off? Back in Hamilton, another look at those rough play penalties. The rule states the defender is more than 1 step away. He may not touch the quarterback.
Well, here's the man right here, number 77, Mike Philbrick. Nice arm over Samir Shaheen, and just plants him in the turf. Now, this is a question mark. Now, there's the other roughing penalty. And, of course, Montfort talking to the referee saying, hey, listen, I understand if it's flagrant, but...
And another sack. Haroun and Hitchcock on the safety blitz, and this time they get Jimmy Kemp legitimately. I think, though, that Philbrick was within that 1 step.
Well, you know what? I understand you got to protect the quarterback. I'm all for that. But look at this. You can't do this. I don't know what scheme you're in right now, but number 53 being unblocked, unchecked, and he's free to come. You just don't do that. Wherever 53 is, you put a big body on him, or you got a back on him. You do something to get him out of the play.
2nd and long. It's complete to Darryl Mitchell, working hard for first down territory. What an effort as he moves the sticks. And Kemp, again, with that sidewinding style, completes it for 20 yards and a Toronto first down. Right after the sack, that shows some moxie from the Argo quarterback. And there's an injured Tiger Cat on the field. Looks like Dwayne Butler, number 41.
You might be right, but getting back to the play, Jimmy Kemp, we got to give him some merit for courage. Standing back there, he's taking some shots today. But I don't understand the scheme still when you allow a man like Montfort to go unchecked and come free off the defensive line.
Apparently, if the Argos need 3 converted touchdowns here to win this football game, with 2:34 to play in regulation time. Stanley Jackson, the third-string quarterback, joining that huddle with Kerwin Bell and Jimmy Kemp and John Jenkins. Jackson, of course, was the backup to Anthony Calvillo in Montreal, but he turned down a long-term contract to come here to Toronto, where he thinks he may have more opportunity in the near future. In fact, we might see him moving up the depth chart next year.
Oh, absolutely. And he's a talented player. You see Dwayne Butler getting up and walking off under his own steam, and that's always a good sign. Played a good game.
So the Argos with 2:30 to go and the clock now ticking, looking still for their first touchdown of this Labor Day battle with the Tiger Cats. Cats have won the last 3 in a row. Kemp to pass, across the middle, tipped. And what is Ben Huff doing back in the coverage?
Well, you know, this is what we talk about. When you have a big lead like this is when the defense starts to have fun. You know, you got a guy who, number 99, Ben Huff, 300-pounder. You know he's never going to drop into coverage, but he does in this play. He's just having fun. He draws back into linebacker coverage, doesn't rush the passer. Jimmy Kemp throws it. He's not expecting him. Look at him right there. What's that guy doing there?
He's a defensive tackle.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you're going to drop that guy, you better work on those hands, because that's in there, baby.
Dad Marty, of course, a linebacker years ago in Edmonton. 2nd down and 10. Kemp flags on the play, avoids the rush. Again, he's pressured, trying to roll. Philbrook chasing him down. It's complete to Nigel Williams at the 50-yard line for a Toronto first down, but flags are down.
Hamilton on the tackle.
Gain of 12 yards on the play.
1-yard line.
And there is no flag.
Nice job again of Kemp avoiding the rush. And I tell you, Joe Montford's favorite move. Outside one step and swan inside the tackles. And he is beating him like a rented mule right now. He's all over him.
That was one of those yellow footballs they've been shooting up from the sidelines. Here's Kemp to throw again. Oh, he had Alford alone, and he missed him.
And it almost looked like on that play, Ted Alford, as he's calling, I think he has a cramp in his calf, looking for the football, looking to settle down, expecting the ball to be thrown to him. Kemp thinking he's going to hit him on the run. And again, another example of the quarterback receiver not being on the same page.
And they're working on that calf cramp as we take a look at McMahon Stadium in Calgary, beginning to fill up, looking for another huge sellout crowd for Game 2 of our Labor Day doubleheader. The Eskimos and the Stampeders looking to break that second-place deadlock in the West. And with injuries in BC, the Damon Allen and Alfred Jackson, both teams thinking now there might be an opportunity to gain on the BC Lions after their loss 23-19 to Montreal Friday night.
Well, that's the amazing thing about any sport. I mean, you could go through the year and have a great year, and unfortunately, if you get a key injury at the wrong time, it can really dampen, you know, your efforts and your success at the end of the season.
Well, they're happy in Hamilton, saying goodbye to the Argos. There isn't a game they savor more than this one, beating the Argos.
And I dare say, Mark, that the Argonauts have a lot of work to do. They do not look like a polished bunch of players right now. They do not look like they're on the same page. You see Mike O'Shea, the linebacker, we talked to him yesterday. He says, you know what, there's no finger pointing going on still. He said, we're not trying to, you know, we don't have a million team meetings to say, hey, what's going on? But I mean, I'll tell you what, I've played on a lot of teams, and we got stuff like this. You got to do something to shake it up. You got to do something to get everybody on the same page. Because right now you're at 2-7, or you're going to be at 2-7 in minute 45. And if you don't do anything, remember, you're playing for your jobs. I hate to say that this early in the season, because it's only Labor Day, but...
Well, they're also going to lose the season series. This will be the second loss to the Tiger Cats in the best-of-3 series, and they're going to fall 6 points behind now.
And that's the big one. That really is the big one. Now, they still have an opportunity. Remember, because Saskatchewan lost yesterday to Winnipeg. Boy, they're playing well. Winnipeg. Got to give them a plug.
Ted Alford makes it off, but he's limping as Kemp goes back to work on offense. Across the middle, it's complete. Daryl Mitchell has another first down with 1:38 to play in the fourth quarter.
But as I was saying, I mean, Toronto still has an opportunity in that crossover ratio. Saskatchewan keeps losing, so those series become important.
Danny Mack now enjoying the sunshine and his work
get the ball back. Will Cody Ledbetter see the field?
He hasn't thrown a pass this season.
I don't think he wants to throw a pass this season.
24-yard gain by Mitchell. First down. Here comes the blitz again. Kemp throws it away. The only receiver in the vicinity was Andre Kerwan. So it'll be 2nd and 10.
I will tell you what, take this film. If you're a coach and you're coaching defense, get a copy of this film, take a look at this defensive line, and have your young kids watch this, because I tell you what, the defensive line of the Hamilton Ticats are putting on a clinic on rushing the passer.
There's the Labor Day domination the Tiger Cats have had 4 years in a row. They have spanked the Argos right here at Ivor Wynne. 11th play of this Argo drive. It started on their own 21. 1:24 to go. Kemp in trouble, and he's swarmed again. But there are flags down. And there may have been movement early on the Argo offensive line.
Well, there may have been, but I mean, they're just putting everybody up there. I mean, Rob Hitchcock's up there. Lamar is up there.
Offside, Toronto 87. Penalties decline. 3rd down.
Daryl Mitchell is called for offside.
And that's one of the examples of Mark lacking concentration at this time when the game's out of reach and you just kind of start putting on a relaxed mode, thinking about the shower and getting on the bus and going home.
1:17 and counting here in regulation. 3rd down, another gamble. If the Argos continue to work on their offense here, the game out of reach, searching for a touchdown here in the 4th quarter. Blitz, and it's complete. Alfonso Browning picks it up, and then he's dropped hard. Dwayne Butler makes the tackle at the 15, right in front of the Cat bench, and they're all standing and on the field enjoying that one.
They're saying the ball hit the ground. They're saying Alfonso Browning picked that one right off the turf and got away with stealing one right there.
Sudsy out there trying to get the players back now. They're 2, 3, 4 yards on the field. Fans booing as they move the yardsticks for the Argo first down. Threatening here.
Well, let's take a look as we see it comes across there. And, definitely a one-hopper, but a great job of disguising it by Browning and turning it into a first down.
Kemp escapes Montfort, then airs it out to Nigel Williams. Williams breaks one tackle from Billups, and finally Rob Hitchcock brings him down inside the 10-yard line. 44 seconds to play in the 4th quarter. Ron Lancaster animated on the bench. Really upset with the officiating. Still upset with that one hopper given to Alfonso Browning, even though this game is out of reach. Now it looks like another Tiger Cat. This is Terry Billups, the rookie out of North Carolina, on the field. A lot of players have been cramping up in this September heat.
Well, I'll tell you what, I mean, just want to turn around, a young Ticat fan, ready to put on the helmet, get to get some action himself.
The Ticats will break their 500 record and go to 5-4, and Ron Lancaster is still irate. He told me the other day that in the last 4 weeks he has not sent in a referee's report. That is when coaches are allowed to complain about calls. He said he's so fed up, he just doesn't bother sending them in anymore.
He said, I'm not wasting a 47-cent stamp on him, is what he said, eh?
Cody Ledbetter and Carl Coulter, the center and the backup quarterback.
And for the most part, though, the referees, I mean, we got to give them some, some backing. I mean, they do. It's a hard job out there. They're sometimes at difficult angles, and they got to make crucial calls. And yeah, they get away once in a while with a cheap one. And I mean, Alfred, Browning, we saw it bounce. There's no doubt. Was it a questionable call on the roughing the passer? That's another one. But I mean, that's football. That's any sport. You just hope it doesn't come at a crucial time that decides the game.
Let me get this straight. You don't want to knock the refs, but you just bumped 2 bad calls.
Listen, man, I'll do anything because sometimes I'm out on the road. I'm looking for a free meal.
2nd down and 2. Argos threatening with 42 to go, trying to score their first touchdown in a game that's out of reach. Handoff Michael Jenkins, and they're waiting for him. Swarmed by a host of Tiger Cats.
They're not even respecting him, Mark. Kyle Walters is in for Rob Hitchcock at the safety position. He walks up before the ball even snapped. He comes right up to the line of scrimmage. If you're going to run the football as a quarterback, I know it's easy to sit up in a booth and second guess. It really is, folks. But you might want to check out his play.
Here's the stats: 23 rushes or more, 2 wins here today, 21, but nowhere near the yardage in what will be the 7th loss of the year for the Argos, who at least have not abandoned the run. Here's the pressure again. It's Montford leading the way. Kemp gets rid of it. It's a touchdown. Andre Kerwin caught that ball that was thrown in desperation, and Kemp is slow to get up. Hit hard by Montford and Jason Lamar.
That's a great job by Jimmy Kemp standing in there. I mean, he's taking a beating today, I'll tell you. He's been down so many times on the turf. You see the pressure. Look at the pressure coming. There's Montford again. I mean, it's like a track meet. Down into the turf.
He didn't even see the completion. Throwing it. And a great effort to come back to the ball by Andre Kerwin, the Canadian from Winnipeg. Played his college ball in Stanford.
It'll make the score somewhat more respectable, but I think when they break down the game film, aside from a couple drives in this football game, the Toronto people, coaching staff, will have some decisions to make as far as how they can shake it up and save the last part of the season.
Kemp, after being mugged, stays in to pin this one for Dan Giancola. The point after attempt is good. And so the Argos get their first major of the football game with 15 seconds to play. And it's 26-13 Tiger Cats here at Ivor Wynne.
And you remember most of the time when you're in this situation, Hamilton defenders are playing a prevent, they're sitting back, they're allowing stuff to happen in front of them. Granted, it was a broken play there. Jimmy Kemp using good athletic ability to get outside, knowing he's going to be crunched again, and still throwing the ball up. And Andre Kerwin having enough sense to see the football and keep fighting to come back. If there's a positive, that's the positive right there, Mark. Kerwin not just letting the ball float in the end zone, but coming back and try and get it.
Chris Schelling, who has been a marauder this afternoon in the jungle for the Tiger Cats, leading the way again in that strong linebacking core for Hamilton.
Well, he's had an enormous game. He really has. And I think, you know, when you talked yesterday about the linebackers being the strength, you have to remember the guys up front are the guys that got to occupy the defensive or the offensive linemen to allow the linebackers to make the play. But these linebackers are all over. They're just flying. They're flat out exciting, and they're flat out getting a job done.
You know, it's interesting too, the Argos came into this game with the leading pass offense in the CFL, and they were stopped dead by Hamilton. An onside kick attempt here with 15 seconds to go for the Argos. Giancola hits it high and way too far out of bounds, and we've got some trouble on the sideline, some pushing and shoving. O'Shea in there, the former Tiger Cat. Nothing too serious, though, as cooler heads prevail.
Well, this one's, like I say, it's out of reach right now. It's over. They realize that. But as you say, these guys see each other. I mean, some of the guys commute. They know each other in the offseason.
Oh, Archie and Orlando.
Well, actually, we talked about Emerson rooming with Orlando Steinhauer and still rooming with him right now, driving back after the game. And you think he's going to rub it into him?
Yeah. Archie loves it. Gary Brown enjoying it. Emerson's return to the Tiger Cats as McManus will run down the clock here. 12 seconds to go now in regulation. The Tiger Cats will move to 5-4. And one thing Ron Lancaster said yesterday, he doesn't want to be playing with the Argos anymore. He wants to gain separation on the Argos and play with the leaders, Winnipeg and Montreal, because he's going to have to face them in the playoffs.
Well, they play Winnipeg next week, Mark, and that'll be a real test. Winnipeg on a good streak of wins right now, playing exceptional football, and Hamilton coming off 2 wins themselves, so that'll be a great game next week.
McManus runs out the clock and accepts some congratulations of Masterpiece, more than 300 yards passing here this afternoon in a 26-13 victory over the Toronto Argonauts. Let's go down to the sidelines, and here's Scott.
Right, Mark, with Andrew Gregg, who had his 3rd touchdown of the season for the Hamilton Tiger Cats in the 26-13 victory. Hold on to the ball was the key for the Tiger Cats today. How'd you feel about the effort from the offensive side of the ball?
Oh, I thought we did a great job moving the ball. We got ourselves into some tough trouble down there. Caught, inside the 15. You never want to start drives there, but we seem to move it out of there, get us out of out of a tough situation.
What about the reappearance of Archie Amerson? Does that help you with the deep threat? Does that spread it out a little more?
Oh, absolutely. Like Archie's got, he's really quick, and he's tough for Sam linebacker to walk out on him coming out of the backfield. So he really adds to us.
You had that touchdown. It was a nice play, and can you relive it a little bit for us? Can you remember it?
Well, yeah, a little bit. I just kind of ran a drop out and go, and Danny hung it up in the wind. I didn't think I was going to get to it. I ended up having to dive for it. But the wind caught it and blew it to the back of the end zone. But it was a nice pass by Danny.
Quick note, positive notes on the offense that maybe you're going to be not the last place offense in the East anymore.
Well, you know what? We just look to go out and get 2 points every game. So hopefully that, our offense can keep rolling. We should have had a few more majors on the board today. We didn't get them. But, hopefully we can go out there and keep rolling.
Good luck to you, Andrew. Congratulations.
Thanks, Scott.
Andrew Gregg of the Hamilton Tiger Cats. They win at 26-13 over the Toronto Argonauts as the CFL on CBC continues. Archie Amerson returns to the Hamilton Tiger Cats, scores a touchdown from Danny McManus today as the Cats win at 26-13 over the Toronto Argonauts. Did I get this right? 23 for 37, 312 yards. Danny Mac, a good day.
Yeah, things went well today. We were able to mix up the run and the pass, and against their tough defense, they're always attacking you. There's some open areas that you can attack, but you got to make the plays. Our receivers did a great job catching the ball, but it all comes down to the offensive line giving the extra time, and they did that today.
Archie Amerson did return, got the touchdown for you. Does he widen out the field a little bit for you? Does he give you more to work with?
Well, he gives me a lot more to work with just in scaring the defensive backs. Just speed-wise, Archie can turn a short pass into a long gain. So having him back there makes some of the defensive backs bounce back a little bit. That opens up a little bit underneath passing game, and he was able to take advantage of it today.
Short week for you, Danny, as you take on the Winnipeg Blue Bombers next on Saturday. Good luck to the Hamilton Tiger Cats.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
There is Danny McManus of the Hamilton Tiger Cats as they now go 5-4 on the season with a 26-13 victory over the Toronto Argonauts, their arch rivals. We'll return in just a moment. Get this over to Andrew Gregg scores his third touchdown of the season for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Archie Amerson also scores in a return. Danny McManus was solid at the quarterback position, and 4 field goals from Paul Osbaldiston as Hamilton defeats the Toronto Argonauts 26-13 in this Labor Day Classic. And so the Hamilton Tiger Cats now go 5-4 on the season. They play next on Saturday against the Blue Bombers in Winnipeg. The Toronto Argonauts are now 2-7 as they take on the BC Lions next Saturday. Coming up, the second half of the Labor Day Classic. This time it's to Calgary between the Edmonton Eskimos and Calgary Stampeders. So long from Hamilton. Now let's send you to McMahon. Here's Steve Armitage.